ESPN yesterday, and I found an early preview for Super Bowl 60, and they had a panel of, I think, 6 or 7 ESPN voices, ones that we've had on the show before, very familiar names, guys like Bill Barnwell and things, go through and just, hey, early prediction for who wins this one. Across the board, Seahawks. It's very cool to see the Seahawks. I know any given Sunday, but it's very cool, Bump, to see them as a favorite for Super Bowl 60. However, it does not mean there aren't some people with questions, and one of them is Chris Sims. Chris was on with Kay Adams yesterday and had this to say.
One weakness that I do think has to get delved into here in the next 2 weeks. It can't just be Jackson Smith and Jigba in the pass game, right? There's got to be somebody else. You're crazy if you think Mike Vrabel's school of Bill Belichick is going to go into the Super Bowl with two weeks of preparation and a corner like you're talking about in Christian Gonzalez and go, we're just going to treat Jackson Smith and Jigba like he's somebody, like just nobody, right? No big deal. They have to find, and this is to me where they're dropping the ball, they need to find ways to get Rashid Shaheed the ball more as a receiver.
So fast.
They don't play, right? So that's the one area I look at that they certainly can improve.
Now, people don't know this, but Sean McVay notoriously entered into that conference championship round just treating JSN like some guy. No, Chris, you're smart. You know a lot of football, but many head coaches and coordinators have entered the last several weeks of the season knowing exactly what JSN was and who he was as a weapon. It didn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter, honestly. I mean, you can try to bracket him. That's fine. You got other weapons. And JSN has led this team in receiving every game this year but 2 games. Cooper Kupp led 1 week in the divisional round with 60 receptions. Got A.J. Barner, 60 receptions, 60 yards. And A.J. Barner led 1 week against Minnesota with 35. Other than that, 124, 103, 132, 162. This is who this team is. If you do want to take away or try to take away JSN, there are other options. But even if you try to do that, there are still ways that he's going to get the football. You're not going to double team him like you did Calvin Johnson back in the day when you literally had 2 DBs at the line of scrimmage doubling him. He's full of bad takes this year. First, it was the Hawks going to end up 4th in the division, talking stuff about Sam. And now it can't just be JSN. It's been JSN all year. Yes, it can be JSN. You know why? Because the run game's going to be on point. You're going to sprinkle in some tight ends. Cooper Kupp's going to get his reception. Rashid Shaheed's going to be there. Like, what are you really saying? Are you saying that someone else got to go for 100? JSN can still go for 80 and a touchdown, and someone else go for 30. This guy goes for 40. No, I think that's an easy take. Of course, you want to try to take away JSN.
It's also, I wouldn't say it's their single biggest weakness. Earlier in the season, I remember after week 1 saying, man, I'm a little worried about wide receiver depth. I have some concerns. And then you learned over time that it didn't matter if there was a gap between JSN and everyone else. Like, for other people are going to contribute, but also this defense is so great, and JSN is typically going to get it done and win his matchups. So, okay, like you kind of learn to let it go. There's a certain point when whatever gut feeling you have or fear you have is proven wrong, and you let it go and you ignore it. It's not now. Not heading into Super Bowl 60, months removed from week 1. It is not right now the biggest weakness I would highlight or question mark I would highlight with this team.
No. You got Cooper Kupp during the regular season with 593 yards. You got AJ with 519. K9 with 282. Yeah, you lean heavily on JSN because he's the best receiver in the game. But if other players have moments, Jake Bubble with a big 3rd down catch. Jake Bubble with a red zone touchdown. Rashid Shaheed opened up the game with a 50-yard catch. I think he's looking at it wrong.
Yeah.
You are always going to sprinkle in other pieces. JSN isn't going to get 25 targets when Sam throws it 25 times. Will he get the bigger chunks? Yeah. Should he get 10 of those things? For sure. But I think that's a lazy take because you're looking at numbers and saying, just shut that down. You should be fine when that's not true.
Well, and it's just kind of, look, no team in the NFL is going to have 2 1,700-yard receivers. If you see a player in the league, Puka Nacua, JSN, who has 1,500-plus yards, 1,600 yards, 1,700 yards, chances are he is 7, 8, 900 yards greater than the next closest pass catcher on his team. Puka has about 1,000 yards more than the second receiver on his team with Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams has really found I was going to say a name for himself. It already exists. Has really found a role for himself with this Rams team in the end zone as their primary red zone threat. Great. But, like, there's still that yardage gap. It feels like a waste of time to say, oh, well, this guy has 1,600 yards and they don't have anyone else. That's how we got 1,600 yards, because he's a primary target. Like, you're simply that gap is gonna exist. Show me any team in the league where a player has 1,500 or more, and you're not gonna find another receiver with that many. It's just not gonna happen.
No, there's a couple teams that have 2,000-yard receivers out there, and that's rare, right? But this team has balance. It might not look like balance to him, because he's looking at the stat sheet and saying, dang, 1,700 here, 500 there, 500 there. But there is balance. We've seen A.J. have his games. We've seen Cooper Kupp come through clutch, Rashid having catches. This is a complete team, but someone has to lead the charge in every aspect of the game. And when it comes to receiving and catching the football, JSN is leading the charge. Yes, you should try to eliminate him from the game plan. Going to be hard to do.
Sure.
And if you do eliminate him or try to eliminate him, there are going to be other pieces that can pick it up as well. But even if you try to eliminate him, he will find ways to catch the football and get open, and Kubiak's going to scheme him up. That's such an obvious take. It can't just be JSN. No, and it's never just him. There's run games. There's tight ends being sprinkled in. There are moments where other people contribute.
Yeah, someone said, I feel like that's kind of insulting to other teams. Yeah, when did JSN actually set the franchise record, beating DK Metcalf's? It was
like the Jacksonville game.
Yeah, it was weeks and weeks ago that he surpassed 13-23 or whatever DK's record was. Teams knew before that they had to stop him, but you don't think when it became obvious that he was on pace to try to challenge Calvin Johnson, unfortunately didn't end up doing it, but on pace to challenge Calvin Johnson, had already smashed the franchise record. You don't think that every single head coach and every single coordinator were having those extra meetings about this guy?
Yeah.
Look, it's just, I'm not saying it's not going to be a factor. I'm sure that, Bump, as we get into our game preview next week, we're going to have to talk about, like, okay, what if they take JSN out of your game plan? What if they're successful with doing it? The Patriots defense has actually been really good, especially of late. Their secondary will challenge this team. It sounds offensive, but in a way that the Rams maybe didn't quite as much. You're curious about it. I don't know, man. I think that people are just trying to find – you can find things wrong with any football team. Any football team. I think that there are still people, despite what Seattle's done, that are just a little hesitant to truly think that it can happen.
It's fine. You got most of the people on your side now, though. You just look at the way that the Hawks are being talked about now with analysts outside of this area. There's some respect on it, but there has to be the guy that goes against the grain. That's just human nature, and honestly, it's good for this business too. If everyone all said the same things, then what the heck will we talk about if we all agreed on everything? Just sometimes there are takes that feel like you're running out of things to say, so you're just gonna really state the obvious. Got to take Jason away, yeah, for sure. Many have tried to do that. Leading receiver in the game, best receiver in the world, Craig. So good luck at it. And I think Vrabel's going to have a plan. He's going to have a way he wants to attack it. But there's something called human beings that play this game. Mistakes will be made, and Jason will take care of that.
Well, then I'll follow up with, let's say that I had both you and Chris Sims in this studio with me, and Chris said that, and you said it was a lazy take. I think a natural follow-up I would have is, okay, well, Bump, I agree with you in that the take feels, like a little obvious. And it's because teams have not been able to eliminate JSN and see the Seahawks lose. So my follow-up question for you would be, well, how? Like, we've seen teams fail to eliminate JSN. How? Why is he so good? What's he doing so successfully? And then we've seen games where he doesn't take off and they still win. They're on a 9-game win streak heading into this one. So what's going on?
What's going on is how are you going to do it? Like, if you want to man him up and have safety help over the top, you can do that. But he can still win off the line of scrimmage. If you want to bracket him, you can do that. But he's still going to find a way to work across zones and get open. He's just that good, and the scheme is that good as well. So it's an interesting one, man. But I'm here for it. I don't want everyone to root for the Seahawks. I don't want them to be crowned right now. I want someone to look at flaws and try to point them out, and Vrabel's going to try to exploit it for sure. Vrabel's one of the best coaches in the game right now. So good luck, because for some reason, not too many teams have been able to do that. I mean, you played against a San Francisco team at the time. They were healthy. All right, Saleh over there, great coordinator. He still put up a $124. You played against Houston, one of the best defenses in the game. He still put up a $123. You played against the Rams, who are talented offensively. He still put up 100. It's like, yeah, he's going to be an emphasis on both sides for our coordinator and their coordinator. And more likely than not, he's going to put up some numbers that are going to contribute to hopefully a win.
Someone said, news flash, Chris Sims cracked the code and gave the Patriots the game plan to defeat the Seahawks.
You got it.
Listen here, pal.
Listen here, buddy. Listen, chief. This is the way, okay? This is how it's going to get done. Have we faced a team with a star corner other than the Texans, like Chris Gonzalez?
What about him? He's a baller.
I know they just said, but outside of the Texans, have we faced a team with a star corner?
Singletary mixed him up. Mixed up Singletary for his touchdown against the Houston Texans. Right, Houston Texans, yeah. Texas team always jack me up sometimes. Yeah, I mean, listen, there are good corners all across this league. Gonzalez is top tier. From what I've seen out of JSN, I will take him against anybody. Will he lose some battles? For sure. Will he win some battles? Most likely. He wins more battles than he loses. He had 12 targets for 10 catches last game. He catches the ball about 70 to 75% of the time it's thrown to him. This is football. Gonzalez will make a play or two, right? He's a all-pro, Pro Bowl type of guy for a reason, but JSN's going to get his too.
Well, and I'll say this. There are 9 games this year where JSN has had under 100 yards receiving. What a bum. 2 under 50 yards receiving. The Seahawks are undefeated in all of those games, including the 2 under 50 yards. So I think Chris Sims' point, and it's not just Chris. I think there may be some other people wondering the same about, if you eliminate Jason, the point would hold more weight if the Seahawks, without JSN being central as a pass catcher, were losing those games. They're not. They have won every single game. Every single game where JSN has had under 100 yards. In fact, their only 3 losses of the season come with JSN at 105 yards, 124 yards, and 132 yards. Maybe the problem's JSN.
I guess so.
I'm kidding.
Nah,
but what I'm saying is they've run into that issue already, Chris.
Yeah, we've experienced that. There's nothing this team hasn't seen. There's nothing they haven't seen. They play games where they ran the football poorly, still won the game. They play games where they ran the heck out of the football, won the game. They play games where the defense had to lead the charge. They play games where the offense had to step up. They play games where special teams had to put up most of the points. They've come from behind in the fourth quarter to win. They've gone into overtime and won on a game-winning drive. They beat the snot out of a rival in the first round of the playoffs. They overcame the demons when it comes to the Los Angeles Rams. What else do they need to show you for you to believe? Sam Darnold won the game for the team last week, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. They've done it all. They've held teams to 1 for 8 on third downs. They've been garbage on third downs and still won that game. What else? They've lost a turnover battle and still won the game. They've won the turnover battle and have won 10 straight since 2024. What else do you need to see from this squad?
I think it's just that there's an aura around the Patriots. It's the most successful football franchise ever, the most Super Bowl wins ever, the most Super Bowl appearances ever. And even if it's not the same group and not the same coach and not the same quarterback, it doesn't matter. Boston is the winningest sports city with this storied franchise, and they are not the better team heading into Sunday. They're ironically an underdog, but I think people look at Seattle and go, well, what, you haven't proven it with this group, though. And it's not fair. I know, but I'm saying I think that there are people. First of all, Boston fans roll deep in sports media. There is just a belief sometimes in franchises that have won that much.
Man, I feel that you respect any team who makes it to the Super Bowl. You got to win your ball games. I'm just looking at the quarterbacks that they play this year. Geno, Tua, Aaron, Bryce, Josh Allen. Whoever was the quarterback at the time for the Saints, they had a rotation going on. Cam, whoever was quarterback for the Browns, whoever was quarterback for the Falcons, Baker, Justin Fields, Burrow probably didn't play. Giants. I mean, come on now. Come on. When they played the Ravens, Lamar didn't even play.
I know.
All right?
I know.
Put some respect on it. But you do have to play the game. Vrabel's going to have these guys ready to go. May is a good quarterback. I say all this, but, I always respect the opponent. They got here. It went on accident. They played some decent football and had some help.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, rewrite!
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, major breaking news. Announced just moments ago, voice of the Mariners, Rick Riz, says he will retire from the broadcast booth after the 2026 season. What's the real headline?
Do whatever it takes to win the World Series for Rick.
Come on now. Let Riz
Whatever
go out
it takes.
on top. I want him going out like Jordan 98 against the Jazz. You know what I'm saying? I want that hand up. I want Riz to call the last out and be able to celebrate, man. Riz, the smoothest voice in the game, one of the nicest people in the world. He deserves to go out on top.
I do love that that's a possibility this year. Not Riz retiring, which is absolutely going to happen, and we love Riz. But the idea of winning a World Series, and not only his final year calling, but just so many fans around the state have desperately waited for that to happen, and we're finally talking about a team with enough baseline pieces, enough of a foundation to build on that and have it happen. It's very cool to know that here on January 27th, right? Heading into pitchers and catchers reporting next month, that we're going to be talking about this team in a very different way.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number two, in an interview with WEEI in Boston, Mike Vrabel would not confirm or deny Drake May is currently dealing with a shoulder injury. What's the real headline?
We call that the Clinton approach. Neither confirm nor deny.
That's as good enough as confirming for me. If you can't confirm nor deny, you're confirming.
Did you hear some of
the
the quotes? So this is on WEEI.
Starting yesterday, the internet doctors have seen an issue in Drake May's shoulder following a hit during the AFC Championship game. Is he 100% healthy today as you guys get ready?
There's not a player on our team that's 100% healthy.
Is he healthy enough to play at a high level?
I would imagine we'll go through the injury report, and whenever we have to turn that in, we'll turn it in. But nobody's 100%. This will be our 21st game.
That feels like dodging to me.
Here's the thing about coaches in these situations. Why does it even matter at this point? Just say what it is. Either way, you're going to line up on a Sunday and play in a Super Bowl. Just say what the heck it is. I get keeping that information to yourself. You don't want to tip off the ops.
Yeah.
But if he's not able to play, you think they're just going to change their whole game plan? Like, Mike McDonald's going to be like, Drake May's not playing. Throw the script away. For everything we worked on this week, it doesn't matter. No, you're going to run your stuff, and they're going to run their stuff because it is the Super Bowl. This is it. I get it, but I don't like it at the same time.
I feel now I am not in NFL PR at all, and I understand that there are fines for saying things wrong or placing things wrong on injury reports, so I'm wading into muddy waters here. But I feel like it sounds worse the way he did it by saying, everyone's hurt. We don't have to tell you anything. I'm not on trial here. Like, that kind of approach is super defensive. I feel like the move was just to say, he did, he took a good hit. He's feeling it today, but we feel really confident about him and really confident about our team heading into this prep. That's what he should have said, in my opinion. But who am I, right?
I like that
Vrabel knows
better.
what to do there.
I like that.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number three, the Bills are promoting 36-year-old Joe Brady from offensive coordinator to their next head coach. What's the real headline?
The only question he had to answer in the interview was, now, did you want Keon Coleman here? You guys remember there was a very controversial press conference with Terry Pagula and Bills GM Brandon Beane, and they very much threw Sean McDermott right under the bus. There were lots of controversies around a lack of receiver production this year, and they tried to make it seem like, Keon Coleman, this guy that was our first pick, that was actually Sean McDermott. The coaching staff wanted him. He didn't work out, but it wasn't us. We're wiping our hands at that. Now, it's awkward because Keon's still on the team and very young, but it's a joke about insinuating that the entire coaching staff was at fault and not your general manager.
Yeah, take it on the chin, homie.
You just got to do it, man.
Joe Brady, this is where I thought they should go, honestly. He's been in the building. He understands Josh Allen. They have a relationship already. I think he's a good coordinator, needs more pieces over there. I think this is the move. I feel like this is the guy who could be there for the next 7 years, or as long as Josh Allen is there. He's got, maybe 7-8 more years left in him. But, yeah, good move. Shouldn't have got rid of McDermott, but I like this move.
You know, it's really weird for me to hear this morning. It's like I already knew it, but hearing it was different. At just 62 years old, Mike McCarthy is the third oldest coach in the NFL right now, behind Andy Reid as the oldest coach in the NFL and John Harbaugh as the second oldest coach. It wasn't long ago when, even though Pete Carroll was the oldest head coach, a coach who was 30, now Joe Brady is 36, but let's say a coach who was 38, Mike McDonald's age. That was incredibly young. Sean McVay was the the complete outlier, but a coach in his 30s used to be very weird. Even though it happened, you had more coaches in their 60s and well into their 50s. But the third oldest coach in the league right now, 62? Doesn't that feel it's just different from my childhood, I guess.
No, when I was growing up, every coach seemed like they were 62.
Every coach.
I was like, man, that's uncle over there.
Yeah, I know that's not true, but
they're going a different route, and that's fine. I mean, we're gonna have a conversation about quarterbacks and how teams can construct their rosters to win. There's many ways to do it. There are many ways to do it with coaching too. Who's the oldest coach to win a Super Bowl?
Would it have been Coughlin? Curtis, who's the oldest coach to have won a Super Bowl? Are you Googling it?
It might be Tom Coughlin.
Bruce Arians.
It's just 2020?
Yeah.
Wow.
68. So it can be done.
Coughlin was the oldest at the time that he had.
How old was Carroll in 2013?
He's in his 50s, right?
He would have been in the early 60s.
Oh, okay.
So 63, I think.
Okay. So yeah, Bruce Arians. Something about Bruce Arians doesn't project as being that old, though.
Nah. He got a young soul.
It's those Kangles.
I think it's the Kangles. And then it's
the soul patch.
No, I'll tell you what it
glasses.
is. He's so fiery that his blood rushes to his face and it presents a really rosy glow, I think. I do think that's part of it. He's a cool tone.
Yeah.
Congratulations to one listener.
He probably listens to hip-hop in the car on the way to work.
Definitely. A wild stat about the Seahawks' current 9-game win streak coming up next.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
Well, I think it was a swing and a miss week 1.
They're trying to find exactly who they are and what they are.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60 is on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Luxury has arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and the all-new Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel is now open, featuring a destination spa, the expanded non-smoking space, and breathtaking views of the Cascades. You can catch every game at Hawks Peak, over 66 televisions, plus that 2,000-seat entertainment venue and exciting new dining options. Effortless style, the utmost in relaxation. You can book now at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Save $600 on windows and $1,500 on doors at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Enjoy easy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest financing for 12 months, plus a lifetime installation warranty. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com today.
The only place to hear Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
Can you believe it?
Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Are you tired of grilling in the cold and rain every winter? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the cold winter. Take advantage of off-season savings through February 15th, and you can get up to 10% off your entire project, plus 12 months with no payments and no interest. You see, most people don't consider building a deck in the winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming and designing your project so you're ready to build by spring. Planning and permits, they take a little time, so get started now. Get project ideas, browse the photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's my friends online at pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
Here's what you can look forward to when you get your windows replaced. The whole house being way warmer and a lot quieter. Dave Wyman here, and when we had finally had it with our old windows with broken seals, we called Harley Exteriors. They were incredibly friendly, professional, and absolutely knew their stuff. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade. They keep heat in and noise out. Plus, they're truly gorgeous windows. I said, you guys must use a different type of glass, and sure enough, it's their Olympic series, which is manufactured here in the Pacific Northwest and exclusive to Harley Exteriors. Harley Exteriors has a special offer for Seattle sports fans. Buy one window and get the second 40% off. No payments or interest until 2027, and take an additional $200 off your project. Call 833-HARLEY or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today. That's harleyexteriors.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Let's get defensive. A wild stat about the Seahawks' current 9-game win streak brings up both something wildly impressive about the Seahawks defense, Bump, but also a lingering question that I think a lot of people have from their 2 games against the Rams. From Dante Kaplowitz-Fleming. He says, the Seahawks have allowed 132 points during this 9-game win streak, which is already insane. But take a listen to this. 64 of those points have come in 2 games against the Rams. The other 68 points have been across their 7 other games. 68 points allowed in 7 games, but then 64 allowed in 2 to the Rams. The natural question that emerges, in addition to all the praise that we're going to give the Seahawks defense for limiting points in other games, what the heck are the Rams doing? How do we figure this out? Figure out how to stop it. Figure out how to keep Vrabel and co from taking advantage.
Well, I'll tell you what the Rams are, what the Patriots don't have. Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams,
Sean McVay,
a couple tight ends. Now, they have some weapons, obviously. You got Diggs over there. Is it Booty? Is that how you say his name? Booty. You got Henry over there. They got some guys, but it's the Rams is more talented. They're just more talented all the way around and have a scheme that attacks our weakness, and it's really the middle of the field. Like when most of the big plays happen, there was a play down the sideline to Puka Nacua, but when you look at the big plays that the Rams typically make against the Seahawks, it's the middle of the field. It's the condensed formations. They expand, they layer, they cross, they challenge our linebackers. They run the football enough times to make our backers have to respect it, but then now they have to get deep and get into their zones. It's scheme and it's talent. I don't think the Patriots have that. They don't have that scheme. They don't have that talent. I'm not too deep into my game prep for the Patriots yet. But from what I've seen so far and what I know about the Patriots, talent and scheme, it's just a bit different.
Yeah.
Some teams just match up. Like, why do the Panthers give the Rams a hard time? Like, why?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a matchup.
Niners have gotten the best of McVay and the Rams.
Exactly. So they've taken care of everybody else, though, for the most part. I think the Tampa Bay was the only one who really put up a whole bunch of yards and points against these guys. So it's not like this is a common theme. Teams just light up this defense and have these explosive. It's just with these dang Rams.
Okay, so I want to split this into two separate conversations. One, we opened the show by talking about Chris Sims' biggest concern for the Seahawks, and both of us felt like it wasn't entirely accurate, but he was concerned about who's going to step up behind JSN. Well, if you were to talk about maybe your biggest concern or question about a very, very good Seahawks defense, what would you be looking at right now?
A concern? You weren't able to get pressure on Sam Darnold the way that you would want to, right? I watched this when I was watching film. I felt like their left tackle could be exploited a bit. You just weren't able to get home often. You got 3 quarterback hits and 1 sack. Just like the Rams, for some reason, put up all these points against the Seahawks. Typically, the Seahawks apply pressure against everyone else, right? So I look at it the same way. It's just last couple games against the Rams. We got 1 sack in 3 games against the Rams? 1 sack in 3 games. Their offensive line is good. They're able to handle the stunts. Maybe some of the things that the Hawks try to do are predictable. Maybe personnel, this type of personnel that gives the Seahawks trouble. That's why when I get performances like this, when you only hit the quarterback 3 times, you only got 1 sack, like that's not typical. That's not a trend when it comes to these Seahawks. Everyone else, for the most part, they've been able to get after them. And the Rams, at one point, I thought were the best team in the game. And you're doing this against the Rams. So when you come up short in some categories that you're typically excellent in, if you come up short against the Rams, it's different than coming up short against the Falcons or somebody like that. They got talent. They got scheme. They're a good ball club.
From the 509, well, Josh McDaniels is a brilliant play designer, though. He'll have some time to steal some of McVay's playbook. Plus, he already beat us in 1 Super Bowl. Well, beat a different defense,
Different
I should
team.
say. Different team. And I think this is a really good time to highlight that, like, this Seahawks defense does not win in the same way as the 2013 Seahawks defense. In fact, Richard Sherman was on Kevin Clark's This Is Football podcast and was asked, hey, if you were 26-year-old Richard Sherman again and you could jump into the league and join any defense, which would you join? And he said the Houston Texans, which felt more like the 2013 Seahawks than this year's Seahawks defense.
Yeah. That scheme just fits his personality, right?
Yeah, so different scheme that he'll be trying to pick apart. It doesn't mean he's not capable as a play caller, but
I'm not saying this is going to be a blowout. Not at all. I think you do have good coordinators in Josh over there. You have Vrabel as well. You have Drake May, who's playing some good football. I think the Patriots are averaging like 28 points per game. They're a top 5 offense in the league right now. Passing the football, they're top 4. Rushing the football, they're like top 6. Respect. Don't get it twisted. But when I look at these matchups, and obviously I'll do more and more film study throughout the weeks, there's nothing that they do that puts that anxious feeling in me the same way that the Rams do.
I actually read you the tweet yesterday. I saw someone say that maybe some of the Seahawks defensive stunts or looks were getting predictable.
Yeah, by 99's alignment. I think that's what he said. Yeah,
I'm sorry that I can't credit the source of that. I can't find where I put the tweet. But was there anything that the Seahawks defense did Sunday against the Rams or in their previous game against the Rams during this 9-game win streak that felt predictable, easy to beat?
Defensively? Nah, not mine. I think it was predictable that they weren't going to blitz the heck out of you, right? So what offensive linemen or offensive lines, offensive coordinators can do is you control by providing help with Leo, with Byron Murphy, your tight ends on the ends or whatnot. You slide your protection a certain way in certain situations. They're predictable in the sense that they're not going to blitz you a lot. They're going to blitz from depth. They're going to play a lot of zone, and they're going to challenge you at the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there was anything schematically that I'm saying, all right, when Leo does this, this is what happens. So I would love to go back and then look at that film and just see what that texter was seeing.
Yeah.
And make it make sense for him.
All right, let's get to the good half of this tweet. So that's the bad part. 64 points allowed in 2 games against the Rams. Bump saying, look, Sean McVay, his scheme is special. Some teams just sometimes have your number, and that the Patriots don't have quite the same personnel. They don't have Matthew Stafford. Drake May is special, but they don't have Matthew Stafford. They don't have Puka. Okay, I like that answer. I feel good about that answer. Let's get to the good part of it. 68 points allowed in 7 games during a 9-game win streak. Not that any of you needed a reminder, but worth it maybe after a bad showing from the defense that the Seahawks are going into Super Bowl 60 with the best defense in football.
Yeah, they took care of business. I mean, it all started with the Titans. That was your bounce-back game. Cam Ward had himself a decent day. Where is he at? 244, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And then after that, things kind of start to slow down a little bit. But it's also because of your schedule as well, right? You play the Vikings, who are wounded, no points scored there by the Vikings. You take care of the Falcons. The Colts give you more trouble than they probably should have. Beat the Rams, Panthers, Niners. This is when the gut check happened, where you lose 21-19. You turn the ball over 4 times. You still are in position to win the ball game. How are you going to respond? How are you going to bounce back? And I think that loss was probably the best thing that happened to the Seahawks. It was the way they lost. You're in Los Angeles. Your quarterback played horribly, but you still had a chance to win that ball game. I don't know what was said or done at practice, but after that, they got their lives together and started locking down. But mainly because of what's happening with that defensive line and them being able to get the run game going and not ask Sam. Because there was a moment where you had to kind of ease up on what you're asking Sam to do. Because naturally, I don't care who you are, man. You turn the ball over 4 times, it's going to be on your mind.
Yeah.
It's going to be on your mind. I don't think they were hiding him, but I think they're like, all right, well, let's lean a bit more on the run and see if we can get that going and try to just to make it a clearer picture for Sam Darnold. And that's what they did. I mean, they rushed the ball 32 times against the Vikings, and Sam threw it 26 times.
Yeah.
Got that W there.
I think that the Patriots offense has been battle-tested a little bit. The 2 defenses they went against in football were 2 very, very good defenses to get here, right? In football, in the playoffs, excuse me. Going through the Texans defense, which is very, very good, and through the Broncos defense, which is very good. Also, the Patriots defense is good, not part of the conversation. But I still see, even though the Broncos led the league in sacks this year, I think. Was it Cleveland? No, I think it was the Broncos that led the league in sacks this year.
68.
They were not as good in the final couple weeks of the season. And I also just think that, God, I know that there are some people that favor the Texans with this, but they haven't faced a defense like Seattle's. They haven't faced a defensive line like Seattle's, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be a unique challenge for them. I think they could be just having as many conversations in Boston about how tough it is to go against this defensive line.
Yeah, for sure. The thing that will help them is that they did see 2 of the best defenses in a game before they got to the Super Bowl. So if I'm going to spin it, if I'm Mike Vrabel, we've already seen 2 of the best defenses. We should be okay.
All right, we open the show with a remaining question from one analyst about the Seahawks offense, and we're going to look back at some things that were said about Seattle's offense leading into the season. What left does the offense have to prove? That's next.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs!
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
Riz, the smoothest voice in the game. He deserves to go out on top.
Don't miss a minute of Rick Riz calling Mariners baseball on Seattle Sports.
Tons of stuff happening this January, and believe me, whatever you are into, you can have an absolute blast doing it at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Take, for example, the playoff games. Watch every game at Porter's Bay Sports Bar and Book. Cheer with the 12s and enjoy a steak dinner at their steakhouse on property after. You can stay the night in one of their deluxe rooms and wake up feeling like a winner. If dry January is your kick, enjoy a relaxing stay at the spa and get a good night's rest. If you want to test your luck, winter warm-up drawings every Friday for a chance at 5Gs and polar payouts every Saturday for a grand prize of 10Gs. Claim your free daily entry at any promo kiosk on property. That's all you have to do to enter. Silver Reef Casino Resort is the spot. Check it out if you haven't, but if you've been, you already know what you're missing. And stay tuned, man. They got events. They got the big game. They got the Garth guys, the tribute band to Garth Brooks. That's coming soon. Drive up I-5, exit 260, silverreefcasino.com.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/game for 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, ultra-low sugar brain and body fuel. Our IQ Bar plant protein bars help you refuel smarter. Our IQ Mix Zero Sugar Hydration Mixes help you hydrate harder. And our IQ Joe Instant Mushroom Coffees help you caffeinate larger. All three product lines boost physical performance, but they also boost mental performance via nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane. Right now, you can try our epic IQ Bar Ultimate Sampler Pack with 9 protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 coffee sticks. Win your day with clean ingredients, amazing taste, and superior brain and body nutrition. Try IQ Bar today.
Get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text IQ Bar to 64,000. Text IQ Bar to 64,000 to get this exclusive radio offer. That's IQ Bar to 64,000.
Do you like helping others? Become a Shiva volunteer. In Skagit County, join the hundreds of volunteers across Washington state who help over 90,000 people each year with their Medicare options and questions. You don't have to know Medicare. We'll teach you. And if you're bilingual, even better. For more information and how to apply, call Shiva at 1-800-562-6900 or go to insurance.wa.gov.
Sponsored by the Office of the Insurance Commissioner and aired by the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
And the Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
Home of the Seahawks in Super Bowl 60. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app. Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, it's Doctors King and Copstein from K2 Vision. If you're at the stage where you need readers, whether you've had LASIK or not, it may be time to consider K2 Vision RLE. I tell my King LASIK patients, laser vision correction won't solve the eventual need for reading glasses due to an aging, dysfunctional lens.
But K2 Vision RLE will. It's not a question of if your lens becomes dysfunctional, it's when. At that point, you'll need reading glasses and could benefit benefit from refractive lens exchange, a permanent solution to distance, intermediate, and near vision problems. In other words, no glasses, no contacts, and no readers.
And no cataracts.
Exactly. After K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless.
And because we've performed over 100,000 procedures and followed the outcomes, we have the experience to know if RLE is right for you.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com and let's get your vision feeling young again, permanently.
Go to K2VisionRLE.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What does the Seahawks offense still need to prove? What left do they have to prove? I think it's a fair question. A.J. Barner was on with Wyman and Bob yesterday and was asked why he felt the Seahawks offense not only was being slept on to start the season, but very much so well into the season was being slept on and seen as the big weakness of this team.
I think it kind of shapes itself throughout the season. I'm in my second year here, and in the off season when all those moves were made, and you have new people coming in and out, you kind of got to take the time to build those relationships and build that foundation. And I think once you get the season going and we started winning a bunch of games, and it felt like no matter who we played, I felt very confident that we were going to go out there and win. I think that's when you know that you have a special team, a championship team. So yeah, I think it just kind of takes some time, and throughout the year you kind of gain that confidence.
It's cool hearing the second part, Bump, about them gaining confidence with each other and feeling like they're getting into a rhythm. But I think that the first part of what he said is the most important. There was a lot of change. There was a lot of change with the offense heading into the season. And in almost every facet, JSN is now your number one receiver. Sam Darnold is now your quarterback. People felt like they had not downgraded with the wide receiver, right, but that they were lacking somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's about the change, right? The initial change, new coordinator, new quarterback, Jason stepping up. What's the run game going to look like? Offensive line play, can Kubiak enhance? I think going into the season, it's fair for people to question what this offense was going to be, is because you've never seen this addition of this offense. You've never seen this group together. I get it. It's when do you start to believe that this offense is legit? And it seems like it took longer for people to believe, including myself. Like it was tough for me to believe this offense is who they were, because you saw them look different. You saw the beginning of the season where Sam's tearing it up, not getting a lot of rushing yards, but a lot of rushing attempts. And then you've seen Sam kind of calm down and the run game gets picked up, when in reality we should have been appreciating just how they were able to kind of change according to how their players were executing, I think. But, yeah, I was right there with them just because I haven't seen it before. I felt that the offense would help the offensive line and the running game would get going. I felt that Sam Darnold was capable of having big games and winning. 3 games in, I knew that JSN was a legit number one receiver. But because this is such a new group, we kind of got to ride the wave with them and appreciate them for how they're changing.
Yeah.
Now that we're in the Super Bowl, we can look back and be like, all right, man, I was tripping. When for real should I have started believing in this offense?
Let's be real, too. You kind of mentioned it as part of your answer already. It's the approach that was kind of not focused on enough with this one, and that being so much better than last year. The offensive coordinator improvement, the approach, and a very specific decision to stay with your plan. Jeff Saturday talked about it as his favorite thing about the Seahawks offense.
My favorite part about Kubiak and McDonald and what they were able to do, even when they weren't efficient in the run game, because they weren't all year, but they called it. They never got away just becoming this one-dimensional team. And now their defense obviously gives them the ability to do that, but I just love the fact that they stuck with it, and really they become extremely efficient over the past month or so. And so you saw, like, what it looks like. It's hard, man, to figure out, like, where you fit and kind of how it is, but you've seen that thing come to life.
You know what was not working for the Seahawks last year? Ryan Grubb and Mike McDonald clearly being at odds with how philosophically they wanted to attack defenses. We were hearing, we want to be able to run the football. We want to be this tough physical team. We want our offense to mirror the toughness of our defense. It doesn't mean that we're like constantly running and not passing the ball and taking advantage of our weapons, but we want it to mirror the defense. And then you go to that red zone series against the Jets, and you're like, these two guys are not on the same page. Mike McDonald does not seem happy with Ryan Grubb's approach in this red zone series. They are running into a wall by not running. And I think that you can credit part of what really worked this year with changing that.
You know what I appreciate? I appreciate Mike McDonald and John going out on a limb, taking a risk with Grubb.
Yeah.
You took a risk.
Sure.
The guy just went to the national championship, got Michael Penix and them boys balling, explosive offense, pushing the ball down the field, and they still ran the ball well and had a great offensive line. Local dude, good story, right? Like, you took a chance on a guy who's never called games at this level before. But I also appreciate them taking another chance and saying, all right, we tried something that hasn't been proven. Let's go down this Shanahan-Kubiak tree and get a guy that has film in the NFL. It's a constant evolution. You're going to lose some coaches. You're going to lose some players. Guys are going to get hurt. How do you respond and how do you react? I think that's what I appreciate about Mike McDonald, John, and this team in general, is that they never seem rattled. It's like, all right, well, that didn't work. Run's not working. Don't worry. We're going to keep running the football. Safety's hurt. Don't worry. Our backup's going to come in. They never been shook or rattled. So I think that it's important that they have that approach, or they would not be here today.
Yeah. I think to answer the question of our segment, I don't think they have anything left to prove.
No, not to me.
I really don't. Not to me. And I think that what I've settled on instead is that people were looking at the wrong things. Personnel matters more than anything, right? The Jimmys and Joes, not X's and O's. It's not that X's and O's don't matter, but you're right. Like, personnel makes all the difference in the world. And so it's worth looking at and critiquing a team when you feel like you don't love a free agent signing, right? If you're a national analyst and you see Cooper Kupp going to Seattle and you think, I think that they would have benefited from adding Devontae Adams, then that's an okay critique to make. But I think that constantly overlooked are the things that are much more obvious to people covering the team on a day-to-day like yourself, Bump, where you look at it and you go, hey, I know you guys aren't wildly impressed by Cooper Kupp because he's not 27 years old and didn't have 1,500 yards last year. However, Clint Kubiak is a fit. Like, this team philosophically is on the right page. They know what they want to do. Ken Walker's good. Zach Charbonnet's good. Like, those are the things that were overlooked when all eyes were on two players, Geno and DK, not being here anymore.
Yeah, it's the transition that it's happened so quickly.
Yeah.
Like, it happened so fast.
You were a completely different offense last year in so many ways.
And, like, new coach, new offense, Super Bowl. Like, draft Nicky Mawari, change the defense, Super Bowl. You know, offensive line, what are we going to do? You sign your tackles, rookie at guard, Super Bowl. Like, it's just the fact that it happened this quickly, I think, is extremely rare.
Yeah.
And should be appreciated. I'm sure the fans appreciate it, man. But it's just now we're at reflection time, right? Got 2 weeks to the Super Bowl. Just looking back on the journey and how they got here. I didn't think they would be here until I saw them beat them Rams. Once they beat the Rams, I'm like, all right, this is for real.
Well, you know, Seattle Times Seahawks reporter Bob Condotta has covered many iterations of the Seahawks. I wonder when he actually thought that this Seahawks team was for real. Let's ask him. He joins us next.
For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores.
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
Riz, the smoothest voice in the game. He deserves to go out on top.
Don't miss a minute of Rick Riz calling Mariners baseball on Seattle Sports.
The new year is finally here, and you could kick the new year off right by getting in shape and making Top Fitness your first stop. Hey, Brock Ewart here with my friends at Top Fitness, where their stores are celebrating the new year with some great deals. You could take your New Year's resolution seriously with the very best fitness gear there is set up in your home by our professional installers. They sell the best quality products available. Brands like Precor, True, Octane, Inspire, and Hyrox. Come in now and check out the best deal of deals on treadmills. They're Precor 885 treadmills that are lease returns normally sell for over $13,000, now only $36.99, including a full 3-year warranty. This is the same commercial treadmill sold to health clubs worldwide. And every new treadmill, elliptical, and home gym, well, they're all on sale. They got the largest selection of home fitness equipment in Washington, and their staff will show you why. It's no secret why everybody from pro athletes to personal trainers love their stores. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
For those diagnosed with anxiety, depression, or PTSD, Northwest Ketamine Clinics wants you to know hope exists. A recent patient, Evan, details his experience.
Every day was a struggle. I was constantly throughout my life researching what are new ways, are there any breakthroughs for depression, anxiety, these things. And at some point I started to read a few things about ketamine. I probably read every single thing on the website multiple times.
Northwest Ketamine Clinics defines success as a reduction in symptoms by 50% or more. Over a 3-week period, 86% of their patients are successful.
When I arrived at the clinic, it was just a beautiful, peaceful, quiet place. As I saw that healing and growth could take place, and as I put the energy into it, I just saw so many things change in my life.
Welcome to the Pacific Northwest's most experienced ketamine center. Book a free phone or video consult at nwketamineclinics.com. Healing starts here.
To me, the LJ way is to provide an experience that people really enjoy being a part of.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Bills have their new head coach, but it's a familiar face. Buffalo will promote 36-year-old offensive coordinator Joe Brady to head coach. The team announced that earlier this morning. Meanwhile, in Tennessee, the Titans, who have already found their new head coach with Robert Saleh, have hired Brian Dable as their OC.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Seattle Times' Bob Condotta joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Bob, how's it going?
Good, yeah. How you guys doing?
We're good. We were just talking about the Seahawks offense and kind of when each of us started to actually think, this team could win a Super Bowl. Bob, you have not only covered Seahawks Super Bowl teams before, but a number of Seahawks teams. You've seen many different iterations of this team. What point during the season did it become more obvious to you that they could actually compete to get to and win a Super Bowl?
Probably, excuse me, probably in that interim period after the Tampa Bay game, and especially then through the first Rams game, even though they lost it. When they were 3-2 and they lost that Tampa Bay game, and the offense played really well in that game. The defense was dealing with some injuries, obviously, but when they lost that game, they fell to 3-2. They'd lost 2 home games already. It was kind of tempting at that point to sort of wonder a little bit where things were headed. But then they went to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's obviously turned out to be a really good team, and the defense played great in that game, and they did just enough offensively to win that one. And then that Houston game, looks a lot better in retrospect, and especially if you watched it, which a lot of people might not have, because that was the same night the Mariners got eliminated from the playoffs. But I think everybody I don't know how many people were paying attention to the Seahawks that night, but the way they came out and really just put it to Houston early in that game, and obviously got a little closer at the end than needed to be. But, and then going to Washington the following, after the bye week, and just completely hammering the Commanders. I really thought that 3-game stretch kind of really got them back on track a little bit after that Tampa Bay game. And I thought doing that, winning a couple of road games, beating a really good team at home, that was when I think I really began to feel like, yeah, this team can really do something.
Bob, you're a pro. You're in the press box. You can hold your emotions. Me, I had to leave so I can make some noise watching that last game. I wanted to feel it. What was your first thought after you saw Puka Nacua not get out of bounds and you knew that the Hawks were going to win this ball game? Your first thought, or maybe your first note?
Yeah. Well, my first thought was I got to hurry up and hit send on this story here. So, it's kind of, you're so busy, but it's a little bit hard. It is the one thing about the way we have to do things somewhat is, you kind of wish you could just take it all in a little bit more, because you're kind of just having to write something immediately. But, you kind of obviously could see it coming after they had stopped them on the 4th down and then what they had done with that. But, yeah, it was such a, it kind of did look early like maybe this will be comfortable when they got the early score. And, they were playing pretty well, although you sort of knew the Rams were going to make a run at it. It wasn't going to be that easy. And then the way things went, losing the lead, and it was kind of a roller coaster there. And then that last drive, when they get to the 6-yard line, it just, there were just a lot of ups and downs there. But for sure, I mean, it's really, I'm so old, obviously. I went to like the 4th game they ever played against the Dallas Cowboys, 4th or 5th game, whatever. The first time they played when they hosted the Dallas Cowboys in 1976 was the first Seahawks game I attended, the Kingdome. And so, 50 years later, to see him, still winning, getting to Super Bowls and maybe winning a Super Bowl and all that, but to kind of see, where the franchise has come, certainly that's kind of a really cool feeling to take in for sure.
You guys got a chance to talk with Mike McDonald yesterday, and I noticed that most of the questions, very understandably, were like, hey, so tell us behind the scenes, what's the plan for you guys this week, right? It's his first time. First of all, it was his first time in the playoffs, but obviously his first time going through this process, coaching a team to a Super Bowl. What did you gather from him about the team's plans for this week? And kind of that week before they actually get into the game planning process? Like, what does the rest of this week look like?
Yeah, they had the players in yesterday and sort of doing some of their typical Monday, putting the previous day's game to bed. But then there was a lot of logistics stuff they had to do yesterday. I think stuff as basic as here's how ticket stuff works if you want to try to get tickets for people and all that, So I think there was a lot of just that letting them know what the next couple of weeks is going to be like for them, just laying out a basic schedule, and especially the schedule for once they get there, which is already set. But they're, then the players are going to be off for a couple of days. I think they'll treat this somewhat similarly to the week they had after the regular season when they had that bye week then, other than the fact that they now know who they're playing. So this helps the coaches a lot. Unlike that one where they didn't know who they were going to be playing next. So what's going to be different about it is now the coaches are going to spend the next couple of days just totally honing in on New England and getting a real game plan ready for them. And then it sounds like the players will come back on Thursday and do what's sort of a usual Wednesday practice, where they give them the game plan, they give them the game plan, and they'll hold practices Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which will be like sort of a normal Wednesday, Thursday, Friday sort of practice schedule in putting in a game plan for a team. And so they'll try to do that, get really kind of the beginnings of everything for New England, and then leave for the game like probably on Sunday, and then on Monday is when a lot of the chaotic stuff starts with the Super Bowl media night on Monday night, and then they'll have kind of big media obligations Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as well. So they'll still be able to practice and everything is normal, but this is kind of similar to how I remember them doing it in 13 and 14, is that you try to get a lot of the game planning and stuff done this week and really get a real baseline for it with your players and everything. And then when you get down there, it's a lot more about refining it and stuff like that than instead of having to learn it.
Hey, K9 just looked different this playoffs. He's getting downhill, making guys miss in a phone booth. What have you seen when it comes to just the evolution of Ken Walker this year and the performance by this offensive line when it comes to the run game?
See, I think he's looked pretty good all year. So I guess I've thought from the start he's looked really good. I thought from the first practice of the season, it was such a storyline who's going to be the number one back and stuff like that. But I know they really tried to this year kind of carve out specific roles for those two guys, and they wanted to get through the season, and they were pretty much successful in doing that. Having a two-back running back attack all the way through the season, which is what they wanted to do, and that was part of why they parsed out the snaps the way they did, knowing it's a long season and hoping they would get to the point where they are, where they're in a Super Bowl, and that's a lot to ask of running backs to kind of do that. It's a tough grind. So, but I thought Ken Walker's run really well all year. So, I think maybe Sunday there was a little bit more of this, hey, I am totally the guy here. This really relies on me. Because he was going to have a little bit of a bigger role now that Charbonnet's out. So maybe there was something with that. But I mean, I just feel like he's run really well all year. I mean, go back to like the 3rd and 20 play or whatever it was at Pittsburgh, week 2 when he ran that in for a touchdown, and some of the plays he's had from the start of the season. So he's only though helping his future. He hired a new agent last week, and he's going to be a free agent in March, and we'll see if the Seahawks can retain him or not. But he's certainly not going down in price with the way he's been playing of late, for sure.
Pete Carroll and Mike McDonald became the second and now third Seahawks head coach to lead this team to a Super Bowl. Carroll with the only win so far, right? Knock on wood. Let's see what happens in 60. A lot was made with McDonald coming in here being so much younger. Now having covered his first 2 years here and all of Carroll's tenure. Bob, what would you say is maybe the primary difference between these two that you notice, and maybe now 2 years into McDonald's tenure, a similarity that comes to mind?
Yeah, well, in some ways, he probably almost acts older than Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll was just kind of perpetually, he would always talk about. He was kind of the eternal teenager kind of thing, and with the way he liked to do things, and Mike certainly is a little more buttoned down, and the nation really got a sense of that, with his kind of iconic statement up there. Pete probably would have said 50 words in 30 seconds if he'd been up there after that. So, certainly you saw a difference there in kind of their styles. But you're talking about talking to us yesterday, and it's interesting. Mike really seems to have an ability to be really smooth all the time. I think he just he talks about that, about keeping everything the same and process over results and all that, but he really seems to live that, and I think we're seeing that through all this. It's kind of not making anything bigger than it is, and certainly they were happy about what happened on Sunday. But you got the sense yesterday that it's right back to it, and there's not much, not a whole lot of celebrating going on because they know there's one big goal left, and so I think that part of it is that part has really impressed me. The other part that's really impressed me just about him in general is his ability to. You talk about being a young coach, and sometimes young coaches, I think, feel like they really have to prove themselves all the time, and they sort of have to prove that their way's right, maybe. And, Mike has come in, and obviously what he knows defensively is off the charts. But, he's admitted from the start there were some things that being a head coach he was going to have to learn kind of on the fly. And I think he's been really willing to make adjustments, left and right. You've seen and how they handle their weeks, and just kind of varying head coaching type stuff, and how they do things, and how they run the program and all that. And then even last year with what we did with the coaching staff, kind of admitting that they needed to start over with their offensive coaching staff. And, so I think all that's been really impressive, where I think he's always just looking, as he calls it, chasing edges. He's always just sort of looking for what's going to be best for the team, and not so much worrying about what people are going to think about a decision he's made, about his ego or that sort of thing, about proving himself right. It's just more about, what am I going to do to help the team best? Because ultimately, if the team gets to a Super Bowl as they have, that's all that really matters anyway.
Bob, what do you think the chances are? Well, let me rephrase this. There have been a lot of, I guess, coaching vacancies out there, and there aren't too many coaches just jumping in blindly to these jobs. There's still some jobs available. What do you think the chances are that Kubiak doesn't take one of these jobs or doesn't get offered one of these jobs and is with us another year?
Yeah, there's really only 2 left that he interviewed for. So Arizona and the Raiders are still open of the 6 he interviewed for. Cleveland's open still as well, but he was not reported to have interviewed for that one. So, and it looks like Arizona maybe is going to Mike LaFleur, the Rams offensive coordinator. So, that might mean it's Raiders or bust, but, it sounds like the Raiders maybe have their eye on Davis Webb or, potentially going a different direction. So, yeah, we might know here in the next 48 hours or so. If that's going to happen. So, you never know for sure with some of these things, if it's, a coach pulling himself out or a team just going a different direction. Obviously, I think Kubiak's more than happy in Seattle, and, I'm sure they're doing everything they can to want to keep him and everything. Conversely, if you are a young coach, your how hot you are can change quickly. So, sometimes guys take jobs, just kind of thinking like, I don't really know how many chances I'm going to get to ever be an NFL head coach, so I better do it now. So, I'm sure maybe some of that's going on, but yeah, there's really only 2 jobs left that I think he's legitimately a candidate for. And obviously one of the guys making a lot of decisions for the Raiders was there Sunday, Tom Brady, and got a really good look at him. So, I don't know how much that matters or not, but obviously people, a lot of people noted all the positive comments Brady was making about Kubiak and the game planning and stuff like that during the game. So, we'll see. But I know there's kind of been reports that all these jobs could be filled in the next 48 hours or so. And if so, then that means Clint Kubiak's probably staying in Seattle.
How does the way that players talk about Sam compare to what you've seen from players talking about quarterbacks in previous years? I only ask because for me, Bob, when I started, it was Russell Wilson. So I've only ever covered 3 different quarterbacks here, really. And I feel like I hear more about Sam from players on this team than I did players talking about, let's say, Russ or Gino. But I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering. What do you think?
Well, I mean, they're going to a Super Bowl, so everything is great right now. So everybody's the great, everybody loves everybody when they go to the Super Bowl.
Very true.
So to be fair to Russell, I think they're going to be a tiny bit of revisionist history here. I mean, those first few years, I think people were pretty bought in on Russell. I mean, I think, I remember people talking about the 2012 game against, the Bears when, everybody always kind of pointed to that one as Russell's real coming out party. And the minute everybody knew that, we've got a quarterback and this guy really can't take us there. And, people were bought into him. Success maybe changed some things and how people thought. Obviously, personnel changed through the years. And, by the end of Russell's time, there was almost nobody left from, the beginning. So, things are a little bit different that way. But, I mean, he had good relationships with, Tyler and DK Metcalf and guys like that. So, every situation is different as time goes along, for sure. I think in Sam's case, I think some of what you're hearing is I think everybody has gotten within the organization has gotten pretty tired of the Sam Darnold narrative, and especially obviously locally we've talked about it, but I think even nationally, where almost every national pick against the Seahawks last week was some version of Sam Darnold's not good enough to win the game, and I think everybody sort of took some offense to that, like. What has Sam not done this year to make anybody think he's not good enough to beat the Rams when he already had done it once? Granted, he had thrown some interceptions, but he also had done some good things in those games, and to almost win the one down there and to rally them and win the one here and, win 14 games in the season and all that. So, I think some of it is that. I think the whole team just kind of felt like, at some point that needed to change. And I think especially after Sunday, I think people really wanted to be like, look, Sam, Sam's taking a lot of hits here that, that I think they felt like weren't really necessary or weren't really accurate, and that by getting to the Super Bowl, he kind of proved everybody wrong.
Bob, obviously this is my first Super Bowl. I'll be down there next week. What's something that I have to do and something that I should avoid?
In terms of the Super Bowl week stuff, yeah. It's been a while since I've been to one too, and this one's a little different having it in the Bay Area because all the fun fan stuff is going to be up in San Francisco, I think. But the Seahawks are going to be down in San Jose, and that's kind of quite a difference in distance there. So. If you're a Seahawks fan, you might want to be somewhat in San Jose where the Seahawks are going to be, and that's where Super Bowl Media Night's going to be on Monday night. But again, a lot of the Radio Row and stuff is going to all be up in San Francisco, and that can be a fun thing for people to try to take part in. I honestly don't know if I'm sure they're doing a touchdown city kind of thing or whatever. I remember in New York that was really cool because they had it right there in the Times Square area, and so they had that whole football city thing that they set up. And in Arizona, they had it right by the basketball arena, if I recall right. So kind of downtown Arizona, at Phoenix, they had all that. So if there's something like that, that might be kind of fun to check out. But the media night Monday night it's a lot different now than the last time the Seahawks were in it. It used to be the Tuesday morning kind of thing, and now they've turned it into a little bit more of a show on the Monday night. So that'll be a unique experience, I think, for sure.
He is Seattle Times reporter Bob Condotta. Make sure you're reading his work at seattletimes.com. Bob, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's get to Bye. I love Bob. I feel like I hung up on Bob in a weird way. Bob, I'm sorry. Bob, are you listening?
He's not there anymore.
Bob!
He's off to go
Matt,
report
put Bob
something.
back on. Bob, no,
No, we
I'm
will
sorry.
not. We will not get him back on.
That's like how you hang up with people when you're just,
Bye.
Well, I just wasn't thinking. I always do. I do one of two things. Bye. Like my phone. That's my phone voice for customer service when I call Comcast. Thank you. Or it's, okay, talk to you later. Okay, have a good one. I do a lot of that too. Sorry, I'll shut up. Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver
You think
Michael
Bob's mad at
Bumpus.
me?
No.
I don't think so.
Definitely. You should think about it the rest of the day.
He's only mad at you. No one else.
First down, Duke's quarterback was allowed to transfer to Miami. How do you think this deal got done?
He's got to do a buyout. Definitely. He had to return some of that money. Who knows? And who knows if the specifics will be released. But situations like this, when he's the first one to do it, is going to be studied, right? How did he get out of this deal? So agents are going to start trying to break this down.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out. I was thinking about something, right?
Okay.
These guys are getting paid, and they're signing NIL kind of like contracts, right? What if in college football you are now allowed to trade players? What if colleges are like, you know what? Let's get ahead of this. Let's make a deal. You send me your quarterback and 2 3-stars to come over here to my school, and we'll make a deal that way.
But players own their NIL. So what happens if you're a player who gets traded, but you're getting money? Would you be trading the money they're getting from a third party with them?
You get your NIL. They take care of that. And maybe they throw a little something on top. I'll throw you a 3-star.
Yeah.
They'll throw you a 3-star. I don't think it's going to get to that.
Yeah.
But because money's being exchanged now, it's like, how crazy can this thing really get? Like, they're trying to stop kids from transferring because of NIL deals. He clearly had to buy this whole thing out and maybe sprinkle some more money on top to go to University of Miami. It's just it's so complicated now, and there's no structure.
Yeah.
And I want it to get as crazy as possible.
No, it is crazy. I'm trying to I'm like, somewhere is some very clear kind of, oh my God, but I forgot about this that I'm not thinking of. I mean, it's interesting. Look, it's slowly becoming professional. Right now it's riding the fence, and that's where a lot of its problems inherently come from. But I could see that world happening.
All right, but then you got to look
crazy,
at
but
grades, credits that transfer
Exactly.
over. There's so much.
Yeah.
But I'm here for it, man.
Interesting.
Get messy. Let's do it.
Second down. Clean up college football. Bum says, make it messier. How is Mike McDonald not following a trend?
He's not following a trend. Where did I see that stat? Where are you at? Anyway, the Hawks go for it on 4th down 13.7% of the time. That's the second lowest in the NFL. All right, it's over his 2 years over there. This season, he's gone for it on a league low 11.3 times on fourth down. Mike McDonald's like, look, we ain't going for it, dog.
He said, I'm not damned.
If it ain't a half a yard, it ain't the barnyard, I'm not gonna go for it. You know what? I kind of like it, man. Right? Resist. Right? Don't follow the trend. Play some safe football. I'm all for that, Mike McDonald. I ain't mad at that at all.
Third down. What's a stat that shows how important Cooper Kupp is to this team?
Cooper Kupp is the best blocking receiver in the game right now. So
In the game, Craig?
In the game, Craig. So this is here's a stat for you.
Okay.
The Seahawks offense has run the ball 45.4% of the time when Cooper Kupp has been on the field this season, including the playoffs. That's the 7th highest rate among wide receivers to log at least 500 snaps. They know Cooper Kupp is our guy. He's going to be able to block, and what that does, that helps him block and release and have him get these little knick-knack yards. You know what I'm saying? He'll get a 15-yard catch here, be quiet for a little bit.
I call him patty wax.
Give dog a bone. 10-yard reception here, 10-yard reception here, then you chill for a little bit. The big boys get you past the first wave. The LBs are the second wave, right? You gotta get the big boys on the LBs. But when you have those explosive runs, a lot of it is because receivers are blocking safeties and blocking these guys on the outside. This team is clearly committed to it, and I think this is the stuff that doesn't show up when it comes to Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Right? He is the best blocking guy in the game, and him setting the tone has to get other receivers to buy into it as well. I'm sure his receiver coach appreciates him for that. When I played for WSU, my coach, Mike Levenseller, made it clear, if we did not block, you are not getting on the football field. And there's nothing like dominating a DB in a block. It's a beautiful thing.
This is something I think about frequently when I hear any critique about Cooper Kupp's total yardage, which, first of all, there was a world, like a possibility in theory, that Cooper Kupp could get 1,000 yards, sure, but I don't think most people expected that. So if you were, congrats, I guess. I don't know most who were. But I think even then people look at his numbers and they're really missing that facet of it, that facet of like, it's not just about having a veteran leader. There's no stat to back that up, but now there's something that you could back up, like watch the tape, look at him blocking, look at him on these, run looks that Seattle's throwing. Yep. Run looks Seattle's throwing. What am I saying?
Hey, I'm catching what you're throwing.
It's not my best day. Fourth down. We were joined by Bob Condotta of the Seattle Times before I accidentally hung up on him. I'm sorry, Bob. Anything stand out from that conversation?
Yeah, he says he feels K9 has been playing good all year, and I think he has been playing good all year. It just looks and feels different to me these last couple games. Last game, he ran with a different kind of purpose, man. Like when he made that guy miss in the phone booth.
Woo.
You only make moves like that when the game is slow motion for you. Juvenile, slow motion. It is slow motion for you. Him finishing north-south, it just feels different. The numbers say he's been playing some good ball all year, but the feel that I get watching him is just different. He said it looks like it might be Raiders or bust for Kubiak. I'm hoping Kubiak is looking at that silver and black and saying, no, sir, you will not put me in that dumpster fire. You will not associate me with that garbage. And then the last one, I asked Bob what shouldn't do. Man, Bob don't be hitting them streets. Bob is like, look, Bob, man, I be writing articles and doing interviews. So I'm gonna have to refer to someone else who's been down there for the Super Bowl. Something tells me and Bob live different lifestyles.
I think you should find Bob when you're out there, and you guys should go out for a night on the town.
We should.
I would love that.
I'm gonna take Bob places he's never been before.
Me and Moore are gonna get drinks and go inside and watch Bravo. But you guys, go out on a night on the town. Let me know how that goes.
I got you.
Coming up next, the biggest story of today was a surprise.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
Well, I think it was a swing and a miss week one.
They're trying to find exactly who they are and what they are.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60 is on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Season 2 of Unrivaled Basketball is here, and the energy is unreal. Stacy Ross here telling you to get ready because the best women's players on the planet are running back with even bigger moments and bigger stakes. Built for the players, created by women's basketball stars, Unrivaled gives athletes a high-quality U.S.-based off-season league with better visibility and support. So don't miss as Paige Beckers, Nafisa Collier, Kelsey Plum, and Brianna Stewart, and more take to the court and redefine the game. If you love high-intensity hoops, this is the league you've been waiting for. More action, more highlights, more star power. Every matchup, every highlight, every moment that makes you jump out of your seat, it's all back and bigger than ever. This isn't your regular season. This is Unrivaled. Games air on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max. Super easy to watch no matter where you are. Unrivaled Basketball, where the pace is faster, the energy's higher, and every athlete shines.
Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoffs gear and custom Simply original designs. Shop in-store or online and enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com.
Your windows and doors play a huge role in your home's efficiency and comfort. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors for windows that are up to 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards and reduce noise by up to 50%. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's Refractive Lens Exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top: you never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Big tax changes this year could mean a bigger refund, and Jackson Hewitt knows how to get you your biggest. You'll get $100 just to try us. That won't make you filthy rich, but definitely gas plus groceries rich. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back, which would make you low-key loaded. Or at least wealthy adjacent? Go with our trusted pros and get $100 to switch. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Home of the NFC champion Seahawks.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/game for 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
The biggest story of the day was a bit of a surprise. That one this morning, voice of the Mariners, Rick Rizzs, announced he'll retire from the M's at the end of this upcoming 2026 season. His statement on his retirement was posted online. He says, he starts with, I've been blessed to live my dream as a baseball play-by-play announcer for the past 51 seasons, including 43 amazing seasons calling Major League Baseball, 40 with the Seattle Mariners. He goes on to thank people, the support of those who've given me the opportunity to broadcast Mariners baseball all these years. I'm ready to let everyone know the 2026 season will be my final year in the Mariners broadcast booth. I plan to broadcast home games every day paired with a reduced schedule of road games, but believe me, I'll be on hand to be at every postseason game all the way to the World Series.
Riz. Hey, man, he's I didn't realize. I mean, I knew it had been a long time, but Riz, 43, 40 with the Mariners. Nothing says summertime like a cold beer and listening to Riz on the radio.
Right? Just sounds like baseball when it's Rick Rizzs.
Mm-hmm.
We have a great broadcasting crew for all of our teams. But I love hearing Rick's voice, and maybe it's because he's like the nicest person on the planet that it's just warm sounding. But I'm glad that we get him for one more year, and it's going to be really cool. I'm glad that Rick announced it now so that we have the knowledge of like, hey, last year, make it count, like go win a World Series for Rick Rizzs. So we also thought this would be a nice chance to look back at some of his best calls behind the mic, starting with his most memorable from the 1995 one-game playoff against the Angels.
Here's the pitch, swinging a ground ball up the first base line, and it sneaks down by Snow, down the right field line into the bullpen. Here comes Flowers, here comes Tino, here comes Joey. The threat of the plate cut off, the relay by Langston, gets on by Allenson. Cora scores, here comes Soho, he scores! Everybody scores!
Everybody scores! An all-time moment.
That's dope.
Everybody
The energy, hear the crowd. I love those big moments because you in baseball, you can set them up. Like those big moments are set up. Yeah, bases loaded. You're breaking it all down. In other sports, man, it's, like say that last drive, and Raves called a great one, but that last drive for the Rams, like you kind of already saw it coming, right? But baseball is like, wait, it's going to happen. Boom, it happens, and then Riz goes crazy, man. I love it.
Let's look back at another here. His final call of Felix's perfect game in 2012.
Hernandez looks in, the windup, and the 2-2 pitch. Strike three called. Felix Hernandez pumps his arms in the air. Felix has just thrown the first perfect game in Seattle Mariners history. He's being mobbed by his teammates behind the mound. He's done it. He's done it. Felix Hernandez, a no-hit perfect game. The first in Mariner history.
In fact, he's been on the mic for nearly every moment in franchise history, including the Griffies going back-to-back.
I mean, the story continues to get better and better and better and better over the last 2 weeks ever since Senior signed. Here's the pitch on the way, swinging a fly ball deep into left field. Way back, going back. Goodbye, baseball. They do it. The Griffies with back-to-back home runs. And the story continues to get better and better and better. Ken Griffey.
And, of course, part of more recent Mariners history-making moments. Now, Bump, you didn't hear this call from Rick live because you were in the stands hugging a stranger. We still haven't been able to reunite you two, but you were friends forever in the moment. It was Cal's walk-off home run to end the Mariners' playoff drought.
Here's the stretch. The 3-2 pitch, swinging a drive, deep to right field. Stay fair. Holy smokes, he did it. Off the Hit It Air Cafe. Cal Raleigh with a walk-off home run. How sweet it is. The Mariners 20-year drought on a walk-off home run by Cal Raleigh. They win the ball game 2-1, and the Mariners are going to the playoffs.
That was one of the more surreal sports moments I can, as an adult, remember seeing.
Man, and my angle was so fire.
You're part of the call.
Just like I am. I hurt myself. I'm slightly to the left of home plate. So the angle was beautiful, man. I saw it. From that angle, you can tell it has the height, but you're like, all right, does it have the length? Like, can we get this? And no, that was one of my most fanboy moments of my life. 'Cause I don't get to go to many games and just be a fan. I'm usually working. So yeah, that was dope.
There's a cool interview that Cal has with, I think it's with Adam Ray, but I'm not entirely sure. But he talks about that specific moment, noticing the same thing in the moment of like, it's got the height, it can carry out, but that normally it's going to curve out and go foul. And instead, randomly, like when you're not expecting it to, it curves the other way a little bit and lands fair. And a home run. It's just
dramatic.
Crazy.
So
Just
dramatic.
And of course, while we're on the topic of Cal, how about Rick calling this one Cal's also historic 60th home run back in September?
The chance of MVP. MVP, the stretch of the pitch to Cal. Swing and a drive deep to right field. There it is, number 60. The modern-day Bambino has just tied Babe Ruth's record of 60 home runs for third all-time in American League history. Cal Raleigh with his second home run of the ball game. 59 in the first, number 60. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning into the lower deck in right field. The magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues here in 2025.
The MVP chants in the background also make that an all-time moment. Talk about meeting the moment.
Yeah, fans they're consistent with that. You know, they know every time he's up, we gotta holler MVP.
Yeah,
because he's gonna have his moment. But Mariners fans are one of the more in tune fans too when it comes to situational baseball and just showing love, man. I think been to many Dodger games growing up, and I would say in my experiences, at least T-Mobile has been louder than Dodger Stadium.
Wow, it's high praise. Congratulations to Rick Riz. We can't wait to hear you on this season's calls, and let's hope that it all ends with the World Series that this organization has so long been chasing, and I think that they have a chance to get this year. Did the NFL accidentally reveal their script? Curtis, what is this to the 2025 NFL season? This feels like Curtis's conspiracy corner.
Well,
oh, my God. I knew
Welcome
that's
back,
where we were going.
everybody.
I knew it.
Grab your tinfoil hats. And, you know, watch out for those radio waves. As we know, they're a real thing. That's why the Seahawks are practicing in San Jose and not Santa Clara. But this doesn't even have to do with that, which has really carried this segment over the last week. This is entirely different. At the beginning of the NFL season, the league, the NFL, the National Football League, Roger Goodell probably posted this himself to social media, but they do this kind of every year. A graphic of the Super Bowl location, which is Levi's Stadium this year, and somebody representing all 32 teams. Saquon Barkley is front and center in this picture, as he should be. Defending champion. The Eagles won it last year. There's big names on it. Patrick Mahomes, TJ Watt, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Sure. But the two players that are closest to Levi's Stadium, Drake May, Sam Darnold.
Wow.
Now, wait a minute.
Who is playing at Levi's Stadium in less than 2 weeks? Drake May.
Wow.
And Sam Darnold.
Now, Curtis.
Not me. The NFL. This is not me.
You can't believe. Now, okay, look, it is kind of weird. It's kind of weird. You're not the only one catching on, by the way. I mean, even Rich Eisen pointed this out.
Before the season, the NFL put up this, what would you say, mural, graphic, or whatever?
Yeah, sure, artwork.
Okay, artwork. Yeah. Barkley's at front and center, and Purdy and Burrow and Mahomes and Watt, and all 32 teams are represented, looking at the trophy inside of Levi's Stadium for Super Bowl 60. And it's the 32 teams with February dreams were so back. This was the first week of the NFL season. All right, now zoom in on the two quarterbacks who are closest to the trophy.
That's crazy. That's fantastic.
Darnold and May are up front.
Up front.
Now, Malik Neighbors is there, and Jaden Daniels is close. And
they don't have shoulder.
Marvin Harrison. Sauce Gardner didn't even finish with the Jets. It is kind of nuts that the player that's closest. Could you say, now, can we read in to this mural to say if May looks the closest?
He looks the closest. Yeah.
It does look like he's closer in proximity to Darnold.
Right.
Does that mean the Patriots are going to win?
Yeah. Now, Curtis, what do you have to say to that? Because if we're going to buy into this conspiracy theory, maybe I don't want to, knowing that May is closer than Darnold.
I mean, it is fair to say, because the fix has always been in for the Patriots, as we know. Classic East Coast bias. This is a marriage of two of my biggest things, conspiracies and East Coast bias.
That's true.
But
the only thing that isn't a conspiracy.
Exactly. That's confirmed. All right. There's no conspiracy about that. But I just find it interesting that the NFL would put these two front and center back in September, knowing what we know now.
I want to get to an interview with Rob Staton. Can't wait to have him on. We don't want to preview the Super Bowl just yet. We're still going to look back at a bit of this win over the Rams and some questions, some exciting things to come from the game. Rob joins us at noon. Don't go anywhere.
Holy smokes!
For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Grizzlies with back-to-back home runs!
The home of the Mariners, Seattle sports, congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
Riz, the smoothest voice in the game. He deserves to go out on top.
Don't miss a minute of Rick Riz calling Mariners baseball on Seattle sports.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Are you tired of grilling in the cold and rain every winter? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the cold winter. Take advantage of off-season savings through February 15th, and you can get up to 10% off your entire project, plus 12 months with no payments and no interest. You see, most people don't consider building a deck in the winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming and designing your project so you're ready to build by spring. Planning and permits, they take a little time, so get started now. Get project ideas, browse the photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's my friends online at pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years.
We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
The only place to hear Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
Can you believe it?
Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Did you guys hear this rumor of a spicy altercation? An argument between Seahawks and Rams coaches?
Do tell.
Now, there were rumors about this prior to this article coming out, by the way, because this is after Week 16. This was not after the NFC Championship game. This was after Thursday Night Football here in Seattle. There were rumors before Michael Silver for The Athletic was on the case, but then he got on the case. Bump, had you heard this?
Yes.
Okay, well, you hear everything. Curtis, had you heard this?
I've heard whispers of it, but
okay.
I need the juicy details.
Here's the tea. So this is from Michael Silver of The Athletic. He says that on that Thursday night game, the Seahawks had some first half issues. We're struggling to get the ball going offensively, and one of the issues was Cooper Kupp fumbling the ball in the first half. Okay, so Michael Silver says that the Rams and Seahawks coaches and assistants are within earshots of each other. For anyone who doesn't know, up in the press box, maybe you can better explain the setup. So there's the press box, and then to the left of the press box, all in a shared hallway, are all the coaches' boxes, right? Yeah. So you can see and hear other coaches, is what I'm saying. So Michael says, the witnesses said several Rams assistants were discussing the fumble as they neared the elevator. There's one elevator, by the way. Everyone's sharing. One offensive coach asked which Seattle player had been responsible. Another replied that it was Cooper Kupp, and then the coach snickered as though he expected the answer. Well, the comment didn't sit well with Seahawks outside linebackers coach Chris Partridge, whose enraged response caused Rams defensive pass rush coordinator Drew Wilkins to yell back at him. Then Partridge had to be restrained by other members of the Seahawks coaching staff to avoid a potential altercation. Michael adds, word of the incident made its way to the Seahawks locker room and generated a feeling among players that they wanted to defend Kupp's honor. The Seahawks went on to win the game in overtime, and Seattle took control of the NFC West.
I
believe it.
What's going on? I mean, yeah, I believe it. Well, the Thursday night game, coaches were getting into it as well.
Yeah, that's
I'm walking out into the hallway, and they literally have to be separated. Like these coaching staffs don't like each other. One, it wasn't a fumble because the refs didn't call it a fumble. Two, why do the players think they have to defend Cooper Kupp's honor? It is what it is. I mean, it didn't register as a fumble. It was a first down. Three, why does this lets you know there's beef. Oh, boy, all you did was smile and smirk, and coach got that mad that he wanted to throw hands with him. I like this, though. We're not supposed to all be friends. We're not supposed to all like each other. This is a rivalry. It's shifted, too. Y'all don't run this no more. We run this. And you got to have those type of altercations during that transition. It's like the changing of the guards. Like, nah, this is our division now. No, I mean, this ain't the first time, won't be the last time this happens.
Well, no, it was a Cooper Kupp fumble, right? This was Thursday night.
Oh, Thursday night.
Thursday
I thought
night.
you were talking about
No, because it's true. He did have that. It was
so
a
we're
first
talking
down.
about the same thing.
Yeah, we're talking about.
I'm thinking something new went off on Friday.
No.
Or on Sunday. Oh yeah, we're talking also. Yeah, I was there for that. That's what I was All right, okay. I was so confused because I'm looking at the box score. I'm like, ain't no fumble. I don't see no fumble.
No, for Thursday night, and you were there.
Yeah, I was right in the mix. I was like high-fiving the coaches, and all of a sudden you feel a stampede. When them big coaches start moving around, like they're trying to get at each other, and coaches are standing in between, and these are some big dudes. Like you feel the ground move once they start getting active. Yeah, man. Where the heck was I? This whole time I'm thinking this is a new situation on Sunday.
Well, what is confusing is the story came out now, even though it's about, and they just played a game, and there was a moment where Cooper nearly fumbled, even though it's about a first half. It sounds very similar, but I just thought it was interesting. I thought it was a juicy story, but I do think it highlights that the rivalries are good. I think they're good for the game. They're good for fans. And when you're playing games, and in this case, 3 games apiece against 2 divisional opponents, these teams do not like each other.
Nah.
They do not like each other.
They don't.
Maybe there's respect for other players on the other side, but.
No, but there's always respect. Even if, we had those clips of players talking about the 49ers, like, we don't like them. Well, I'm sure they don't like them, right? You have that jersey on, it's all bad. If they were to see these dudes in public, at a restaurant or with their families, it's not like they're going to square up and fight each other. It's just once those pads come on, those jerseys come on, you click in to a different part of your brain, and you're dang near insane out there. And the coaches obviously do the same thing.
Yeah. I just thought it was an interesting story, and I knew that you were back there. So I was like, well, do you remember that?
This whole time.
I know.
This is a new incident.
No, I know, right? Well, I mean, it wouldn't be surprising at all, but I think there's an interesting angle here of like, not defending Kupp's honor, but you see Matthew Stafford telling Kupp, hey, go win a Super Bowl, man, like a lot of love and respect there. But I think the Rams are used to feeling like, oh, we're the big dog.
Yeah.
Exactly. You guys want to know a quick, interesting wrinkle about that Thursday night game, too?
Yes.
Quick, we got to get to break soon, but my wife, who is the play-by-play engineer for the Seahawks, was getting hungry at halftime, saw a tray in the press box and had a big box of chicken strips in it. There was probably like 20 chicken strips in it. She was like, this can't possibly be a serving for one person, but took the box anyway. And so NASA Chobe, the executive producer of the Seahawks Radio Network, looks at that box and was like, that's a really big box of chicken strips. Where'd you get that from? Bernie goes, that cart over there. And NASA goes, that cart meant for the Rams coaching staff?
No!
And Bernie goes, I didn't know. And they didn't put it back. The Rams did not get their chicken strips.
So they were hangry. That's what it
That's
was.
why.
Yeah.
Brenna won them that game.
I think so.
She did her part. Shout out Brenna Rogers for taking those chicken strips. Rob Staton joining us next.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
Well, I think it was a swing and a miss week 1.
They're trying to find exactly who they are and what they are.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60 is on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hey, it's Dave Wyman, and before you make that decision, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Why? Because he gives it to you straight. Dr. Wagner said my right knee needs replacement, and I appreciate his honesty and expertise. My left knee is fine right now, but the minute it isn't, I'm heading to Dr. Wagner for his expert opinion. I want to avoid another surgery, and I've heard so many patients rave about results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner. He's a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience and has performed more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy without pain and without surgery. Whether it's a shoulder, hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Robert. Robert, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
I heard an ad, and my wife and I had just got our policy renewals from our previous provider, and everything had gone up quite a bit, 30-40%, so I thought I'd give it a try. It was a pleasant experience, very easy. It only took a couple of days to get the good news back.
And were they able to save you money?
Yeah, we were able to save well over $1,000. Not only did we save money, our agent found that we had some gaps in coverage, and they were able to not only save money, but improve our coverage.
Well, now you can be a good friend, and you can tell everybody about it.
Well, I have. I've, in fact, passed it on to a couple of my good friends, and they're taking the challenge as well. So it's been great.
Robert did it. My family did it. Now you got to do it, and it's totally free. Go take the First Mark Challenge today. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you could be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQBar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQBar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, ultra-low sugar brain and body fuel. Our IQBar plant protein bars help you refuel smarter. Our IQ Mix Zero Sugar Hydration Mixes help you hydrate harder. And our IQ Joe Instant Mushroom Coffees help you caffeinate larger. All 3 product lines boost physical performance, but they also boost mental performance via nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane. Right now, you can try our epic IQBar Ultimate Sampler Pack with 9 protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 coffee sticks. Win your day with clean ingredients, amazing taste, and superior brain and body nutrition. Try IQBar today.
Get 20% off all IQBar products plus free shipping when you text IQBar to 64,000. Text IQBar to 64,000 to get this exclusive radio offer. That's IQBar to 64,000.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Bills have their new head coach, but it's a familiar face. Buffalo will promote 36-year-old offensive coordinator Joe Brady to head coach. The team announced earlier this morning that's on a 5-year deal. Meanwhile, in Tennessee, the Titans, who already found their head coach with Robert Saleh, have hired Brian Daboll as their OC.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Seahawks draft love Rob Staton joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook hotline. And Rob, before we ask you to get into the X's and O's of this game or talk big picture stuff, I have to ask about your reaction when Puka stayed inbounds, the clock ran out, and it was clear the Seahawks were going to Super Bowl 60.
Well, my reaction, I'm very pleased there was nobody else in the room because it would have been highly embarrassing. When it comes to these kind of things, like sporting success, I am how we would describe in England as a bit of a wet lettuce. So very emotional, very pleased, very happy, and just looking forward to it. I just think this is a huge opportunity now. A lot of people won't feel this way. This is how I feel. To get a bit of closure from 11 years ago, to be able to finally just draw a line under what happened in that Super Bowl against the New England Patriots. And it would have been really difficult to watch the Rams go and do that in Santa Clara against the Patriots if that was what would have happened. Mm-hmm. And now the Seahawks get an opportunity to do it. So this could not be any more perfect for me. I love the fact that they might have to wear the all blue uniforms as well. I want the complete closure. I want to look the same. I want to beat the same team. And I want to draw a line under what happened in that Super Bowl.
Rob, I think it's cool that you're all the way on the other side of the world, and yet you have the same passion for this team that I saw in the stadium, you know, when it all went down. I'm sitting there listening to Wyman and Rabel make the final call, and it was just chaos in there. And you've been covering this team for a while. How is this team different than some of the other teams that you covered?
It is very different, isn't it? When I think back to when I started following the Seahawks in the mid 2000s, it was 2006 was my first game, and I saw the back end of a great Mike Holmgren era, and then obviously this amazing LOB period, and that team was built on being brash and in your face. Perhaps weren't the most likable team for anybody outside of Seattle. I think they were a team that people loved to hate because they would talk and they would back it up, and there's probably a little bit of envy there about how physical they were and how good they were. And it was always a team as well that seemed to live on the edge of it was combustible. And we saw that when that second Super Bowl happened, that it did combust. And there were some issues after that. This is a team built on connection, on togetherness, on three facets of a game of football all coming together and acting as one and working with those fans and the staff, and everything just feels like it's pulling in the same direction, and it's amazing. And it just makes you want to root for this team even more. I am desperate for this team to have the success, because this is the kind of team as a fan, as someone who covers a team that you want to cover, that you want to follow, that you want to root for. So I want these personalities, these individuals led by just an amazing human, it seems, at quarterback, to be able to go and get that Lombardi trophy, and we can be witnessing great scenes in downtown Seattle again and having another big party.
I'm inching toward hubris here, but I think what's really interesting to me about this Super Bowl is the matchup itself is a little more lopsided than Super Bowl 49 was. I mean, we were then looking at obviously a great Seahawks team, but you're facing off against Tom Brady and the Patriots, and they've done it before. This is a different Seahawks team, a different Patriots team, but also a Seahawks team who has just proven more this year. I mean, I was just reading an ESPN feature, and every single panelist of, I think, 6 or 7 picked Seattle any given Sunday. And we know that quite literally to be true in the Super Bowl as well. But I feel hard for me to imagine, tell me if I'm wrong, that Seattle loses this one for any other reason than getting in their own way.
There's two ways to look at it. First of all, I would never underestimate Mike Vrabel. I think he is a fantastic coach. I mean, look at the Titans since he left. They've been one of the worst franchises in the NFL. And when he was there, when they had Ryan Tannehill at quarterback, could do a job, but certainly was not anywhere close to being like an elite quarterback. Didn't have that many big name players on defense. They had A.J. Brown. They had Derrick Henry, of course, on offense. They got to the AFC Championship game. And the only team that stopped them getting to the Super Bowl was Mahomes and the Chiefs. So the guy has clearly got something there. He's worked with the most successful coach and quarterback in NFL history, and he will have a few tricks up his sleeve in this game. So I think you've got to combat that. You've got to be ready for that. But what I would say is that the one amazing thing about this team is that typically it's a unit, isn't it, that enables you to have sustained success. A great defense, an amazing quarterback. And with the Seahawks, it could be anything. Like in this game against the Rams, if you were to think of a recipe for success, it was the defense coming up against Stafford and McVay and Nakua and stopping them and limiting them and enabling the offense to do perhaps just enough to get the win on the day. That wasn't the game at all. The defense struggled. The defense nearly gave up another 500 yards. Sam Darnold and Clint Kubiak and Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp and the rest, they were the ones that won the game with another big special teams play. And it could be anything. Like in this game, if the Seahawks struggle on offense, the defense might pick them up. If both units are struggling in the first half, the special teams might pick them up, as they did after halftime against the Falcons. It's incredible how this team works together to make things happen. And that's the superpower of this Seahawks team, is that, do you know what? The Patriots might be able to slow down Sam Darnold on the running game. Can they slow down the defense and the offense and the special teams? That's going to be a heck of a challenge for them.
Yeah, listening to you kind of break that all down, I started thinking about Pittsburgh game. Helani touchdown on special teams. Myers 6 for 6. Run game getting going late. Sam Darnold having his moments. Now they're the most balanced team in the league, so it makes sense that they are where they are. But when you look at this playoff run, who stands out to you the most? Is it simply Sam Darnold, or is it someone else?
I think off the back of the last game, it's Sam Darnold, because that was fantastic. Like, you couldn't ask for a better playoff performance than that. And he just seems to be handling a lot of pressure and a lot of eyes on him, and maybe a lot of people expecting him to fall down in such a brilliant way. And we've said, like, turnovers, avoid the turnovers. Don't make mistakes. No turnovers in 2 games. So to a certain extent, it's him. I think Ken Walker deserves a lot of praise. I know he didn't have gaudy numbers in the last game, but the way that he played in both playoff games has been a huge deal. And then just sort of extra contributors, like people like Jake Bobo making a touchdown, like the special teams recovering the fumble. It's just little things like that just went Seattle's way in this game. And the defense elevating, because I think we all have to kind of move on from this play, but I certainly think a few people who had been sat there like I was after the Reed Woolen penalty thinking, oh my word, that's what we're going to be talking about all off season. And the Seahawks didn't allow that to be the case. We're not going to probably talk about that after this week. So I just think everybody just deserves so much credit. And that's the thing that's going to be amazing if they can finish this off, is this will be the greatest example of a team Super Bowl win that I can remember in the NFL.
Sheil Kapadia mentioned that the Rams offense was top 90th percentile in EPA per drive in this one, and it felt like that during the game. I think if the Seahawks would have lost, we'd be talking about that Woolen play, but we'd also be talking about, oh my God, Matthew Stafford and the Rams, this top scoring offense just got the better of you today. So many explosive plays. Now, we aren't talking about that, right? Certainly not it costing you. And I think most people, everyone, if not, still has a lot of faith in this defense, but let's talk about what you saw. I have faith that the Seahawks won't repeat too many of those mistakes, but it was a little weird to see a game in which the defense is a liability for you in any way. Were there common patterns, themes that you saw, things that you'll kind of be curious about heading into this game against the Patriots?
I thought the pass rush was really predictable. They couldn't win off the edge. They didn't get any quick wins. When they tried to manufacture pressure with stunts, it didn't work. They're going to have to find a way around that. And you have to create more pressure. Now, they're playing a team that I don't think is going to be able to protect Drake May in the way that the Rams protected Matthew Stafford. The left tackle is probably going to end up at guard long-term in the NFL, that they drafted in the top 10 last year. So That's something that you can maybe attack. But then the other side of it is that Drake May is a more mobile player than Matthew Stafford. So if there is greater pressure, if you don't contain him, he's going to set off running. He's going to create in a way that Matthew Stafford didn't. I think with the coverages, I find it really frustrating that the Rams just seem to have some kind of solution whereby, and maybe it's just the quality of people like Puka Nacua to make plays, to find holes in zone, to make the plays, whether it is sort of to the sideline or running across the middle and just running after the catch. It's pretty incredible what they've done in these last 2 games. The reassuring thing is to know that other teams have not been able to do that. The fact that Kyle Shanahan couldn't do any of those things in 2 games gives me a little bit of confidence that they'll be able to do this. But as you quite rightly mentioned, the Rams were a top offense. This was DVOA number 1 versus DVOA number 2. And the Seahawks did not play anywhere close to their best on defense, and they still won the game by 4 points. The Patriots, I think, are something like 9th per DVOA, so they're a good team. But the Rams versus the Seahawks felt like this is the one you've got to get through. Whoever emerges from this is going to be in a really good position to win the Super Bowl. You've just got to, it sounds cliched, it sounds like really obvious. Like I said, don't get in your own way. Do what you need to do. Execute. You don't have to do anything spectacular. We don't need highlight reel play. We don't need the tip. We didn't need the tip last week against the Rams. We just need the Seahawks to avoid back-breaking errors, situational football, which again has proven so important in these 2 conference games, and making the plays when they're there to be made. If the Seahawks do that, I'm very confident we'll be enjoying that Sunday night in Santa Clara.
Obviously, we talk about the Seahawks, but on the other side, it was Matthew Stafford who, he didn't lose that game. He played an excellent game. And the first thing I'm thinking about is, man, he's about to be 38 years old. There's drama with Sean McVay this offseason with contracts or whatnot. What do you think he does? You think he comes back for another year?
It's amazing because you look at his numbers and you kind of forget that Stafford wasn't that good last season. That's something like 20 touchdowns last year. He got 46 this year. And there've been a pattern of 3 years where he had a banged up year where he had 10 touchdowns and it was like 26 touchdowns, 20 touchdowns, then 46. And it makes you wonder, he got the new contract. He'd made the commitment to the Rams, having really flirted with going to the Raiders. Did he double down this year? Come on, this is my chance. This is all in on this season. And maybe he has made some sacrifices that he won't necessarily be prepared to make again. Or maybe there are things that he's gone through or played through injuries or whatever it is to get to a point where he can have an MVP level season. And I think he should be the MVP, no disrespect to Drake May, who's coming up in this next game. I don't know whether he's going to want to do that or whether he can do it to the same level. So he may well come back. Whether he can have another season like this remains to be seen. I suspect whenever he's got Puka Nacua to throw to and Sean McVay as his head coach, then there'll be a chance to have some success. But even McVay to me seems like he's been talking about, does he want to step away for a little bit? Is he, getting to a point where he's getting burnt out? He was very emotional after the game as well. There has been talk about him maybe going into broadcasting for a bit, taking a step back. I do think that these younger coaches who come into the game very early, typically Sean McVay having been in the game as long as 10 years now, they would be getting to a point where maybe they would be thinking about that kind of a break from it all. He's 40 years old, feels very young. He can coach for another 20 years. But his coaching age might be a lot older than 40 years. So I think there's some challenges there for the Rams. But if it stays the same and it's Stafford and McVay again next season, then you are going to have to come up with a plan for that. And I think one of the big off-season things the Seahawks are going to have to do is try and get an angle on this offense. And that might mean having a look at your pass rush and seeing how you can get more quick wins next season.
I was pulling up a tweet of yours, and I wanted to save it for the end of this conversation because it has to do with the decision made by Sean Payton in the AFC Championship. You can guess where this is going. I found it really interesting, and so I wanted to bring it to your attention in our last couple minutes here. I don't know that this will become a topic at all in Super Bowl 60, but maybe it does. It's certainly a broader conversation around football. You said you've got an easy 3 points on offer to go up 10-0. You're playing a backup quarterback, obviously. Sean Payton made the decision to go for it on 4th and 1, I think, failed. You said the NFL's obsession with going for it on 4th down continues to make no sense, which I thought was interesting because I remember, years ago when it was, oh my God, 4th down has a pretty high conversion rate when you really go for it on 4th and short. People need to do it more often. Is it something of analytics has gone too far? Is it boldness is replacing logic, or what's happening here with some 4th down decisions in the league?
The crazy thing about that Sean Payton decision is the analytics say to kick the field goal.
Right.
So I think what's happened is the analytics plays an influence here, in that really coaches have it's put coaches in a position where they want to be more aggressive than ever. And I just think we've lost a lot of that situational football common sense. And in this situation, I get it. It's a heated game. It's a big game. You're desperate to win. You've got down that close to the end zone, and you want to try and get 7 and not 3. But Sean Payton's won a Super Bowl in his career. He's been in the game an awful long time. He's got to know what weather's coming down the line. Like, that was not a surprise. It wasn't like anybody was sat there in Denver in T-shirt and shorts and, oh my word, now we've got the biggest snowstorm ever appearing around the corner. They must have known that snow was coming. You've got Jarrett Stidham instead of your original starting quarterback. Kick that field goal and you're 10-0 up, and you may well win the game with those 10 points. It's the fact that the Patriots make the stop. Then you have a turnover because you're trying to get Jarrett Stidham to throw the football deep in his own half. And again, that's another situational snafu really from the head coach making that decision as the play caller. And all of these decisions that Payton was making made it life harder for his team. Now, I'm not anti going for it on 4th down. Like, if Cooper Kupp, when he stretched out the football and they gave him the 1st down, I was sat on my couch thinking, if they overturn this and say that he's an in short, get AJ Barner out there, go for the barnyard and finish this game. Do not put this game in Matthew Stafford's hands. I would have been aggressive at that point, and I would have got it in 4th down. But I just think that whether Payton and some of these other coaches just need a little birdie on the shoulder to go, let's play situational football here. Go and kick that field goal, go 10-0 up and play the situation. Not enough teams are doing that, and it's costing them. Thankfully, Mike McDonald has avoided all of this up until now. I think he's going to continue to avoid it in this Super Bowl. It'll be interesting, though, because Mike Vrabel is very aggressive and goes for it on 4th down. So that could be a big factor in this game still.
A nice full circle preview here. He is Rob Staton of Seahawks Draft Blog. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, major breaking news. Announced just moments ago, voice of the Mariners, Rick Riz, says he will retire from the broadcast booth after the 2026 season. What's the real headline?
Do whatever it takes to win the World Series for Rick.
Come on now. Let Riz
Whatever
go out on top. I want him going out like Jordan 98 against the Jazz. You know what I'm saying? I want that hand up. I want Riz to call the last out and be able to celebrate, man. Riz, the smoothest voice in the game, one of the nicest people in the world. Mm-hmm. He deserves to go out on top.
I do love that that's a possibility this year. Not Riz retiring, which is absolutely going to happen, and we love Riz, but the idea of winning a World Series in not only his final year calling, but just so many fans around the state have desperately waited for that to happen, and we're finally talking about a team with enough baseline pieces, enough of a foundation to build on that and have it happen. It's very cool to know that here on January 27th, right? Heading into pitchers and catchers reporting next month, that we're going to be talking about this team in a very different way.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, in an interview with WEEI in Boston, Mike Vrabel would not confirm or deny Drake May is currently dealing with a shoulder injury. What's the real headline?
We call that the Clinton approach. Neither confirm nor deny.
That's as good enough as confirming for me. If you can't confirm nor deny, you're confirming.
Did you hear some of the quotes? So this is on WEEI.
Starting yesterday, the internet doctors have seen an issue in Drake May's shoulder following a hit during the AFC Championship game. Is he 100% healthy today as you guys get ready?
There's not a player on our team that's 100% healthy.
Is he healthy enough to play at a high level?
I would imagine we'll go through the injury report, and whenever we have to turn that in, we'll turn it in. But nobody's 100%. This will be our 21st game.
That feels like dodging to me.
Here's the thing about coaches in these situations. Why does it even matter at this point? Just say what it is. Either way, you're going to line up on a Sunday and play in a Super Bowl. Just say what the heck it is. I get keeping that information to yourself. You don't want to tip off the ops.
Yeah.
But if he's not able to play, You think they're just going to change their whole game plan? Like, Mike McDonald's going to be like, Drake May's not playing. Throw the script away. For everything we worked on this week, it doesn't matter. No, you're going to run your stuff, and they're going to run their stuff because it is the Super Bowl. This is it. I get it, but I don't like it at the same time.
I feel now I am not in NFL PR at all, and I understand that there are fines for saying things wrong or placing things wrong on injury reports, so I'm wading into muddy waters here. But I feel like it sounds worse the way he did it by saying, everyone's hurt. We don't have to tell you anything. I'm not on trial here. Like, that kind of approach is super defensive. I feel like the move was just to say, he did, he took a good hit. He's feeling it today, but we feel really confident about him and really confident about our team heading into this prep. That's what he should have said, in my opinion. But who am I, right? Rabel knows what to do there.
I like that.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, the Bills are promoting 36-year-old Joe Brady from offensive coordinator to their next head coach. What's the real headline?
The only question he had to answer in the interview was, now, did you want Keon Coleman here? You guys remember there was a very controversial press conference with Terry Pagula and Bills GM Brandon Beane, and they very much threw Sean McDermott right under the bus. There were lots of controversies around a lack of receiver production this year, and they tried to make it seem like, Keon Coleman, this guy that was our first pick, that was actually Sean McDermott. The coaching staff wanted him. He didn't work out, but it wasn't us. We're wiping our hands of that. Now, it's awkward because Keon's still on the team and very young, but it's a joke about insinuating that the entire coaching staff was at fault and not your general manager.
Yeah, take it on the chin, homie.
You just got to do it, man.
Joe Brady, this is where I thought they should go, honestly. He's been in the building. He understands Josh Allen. They have a relationship already. I think he's a good coordinator, needs more pieces over there. I think this is the move. I feel like this is the guy who could be there for the next 7 years, or as long as Josh Allen is there. He's got, maybe 7-8 more years left in him. But, good move. Shouldn't have got rid of McDermott, but I like this move.
It's really weird for me to hear this morning. It's like I already knew it, but hearing it was different. At just 62 years old, Mike McCarthy is the 3rd oldest coach in the NFL right now, behind Andy Reid as the oldest coach in the NFL and John Harbaugh as the 2nd oldest coach. It wasn't long ago when, even though Pete Carroll was the oldest head coach, a coach who was 30, now Joe Brady is 36, but let's say a coach who was 38, Mike McDonald's age, that was incredibly young. Sean McVay was the statistical, the complete outlier, but a coach in his 30s used to be very weird. Even though it happened, it was, you had more coaches in their 60s and well into their 50s. But the 3rd oldest coach in the league right now, 62? Doesn't that feel it's just different from my childhood, I guess.
No, when I was growing up, every coach seemed like they were 62.
Every coach.
I was like, man, that's uncle over there.
Yeah, I know that's not true, but
they're going a different route, and that's fine. I mean, we're gonna have a conversation about quarterbacks and how teams can construct their rosters to win. There's many ways to do it. There are many ways to do it with coaching too. Who's the oldest coach to win a Super Bowl?
Would it have been Coughlin? Curtis, who's the oldest coach to have won a Super Bowl? Are you Googling it?
It might be Tom Coughlin.
Bruce Arians.
With just 2020?
Yeah.
Wow.
68. So it can be done.
Coughlin was the oldest at the time that he had.
How old was Carroll in 2013?
He's in his 50s, right?
He would have been early 60s.
Oh, okay.
So 63, I think.
Okay. So yeah, Bruce Arians. Something about Bruce Arians doesn't project as being that old, though.
Nah. He got a young soul.
It's those
I think it's the Kangles, and then it's
the soul patch.
No, I'll tell you what it
glasses.
is. He's so fiery that his blood rushes to his face, and it presents a really rosy glow. I do think that's part of it. He's a cool tone.
Yeah.
Congratulations to one listener.
He probably listens to hip hop in the car on the way
to work. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Taking a look around the NFL next. Don't go anywhere.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Tight end A.J. Barner is with us. How does it feel to hear NFC champions headed to the Super Bowl? Is it set in yet, or does it still feel surreal?
Yeah, no, it feels really good. Obviously, to win the NFC and kind of do it against divisional opponents and win our division as well early in the year, it feels really good. But honestly, we got to go get one more. So I'm really excited for it.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/game for 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
To me, the LJ way is to provide an experience that people really enjoy being a part of.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
And the Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
Home of the Seahawks in Super Bowl 60. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/plan for 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Taking a look around the NFL, we are going to start in Pittsburgh, but will we stay there? I don't know. Here's why I'm talking about it. One of the biggest offseason questions will be about Steelers quarterback and their situation. Adam Schefter says if it were up to the players, Aaron Rodgers would be welcomed back.
The team has left it open all along. During the players' exit interviews, almost to a man, the players vowed for Aaron Rodgers. And I think people have underestimated and not realized how much respect he had in that locker room and how well received his season there was. The players there loved him. And I think that the majority of them want him back next year. And the Pittsburgh Steelers went out and made their hire because they believed that Mike McCarthy was the right coach for the job, period. The fact that there is a connection to Aaron Rodgers is a bonus. It's not why they hired him, but I don't think it hurts.
However, Dan Orlovsky says kicking the tires again on the 42-year-old quarterback would be catastrophic.
Just don't bring Aaron Rodgers in. That's my thing with Pittsburgh, because I know how this would end if Mike McCarthy's paired up with Aaron. He's a good coach, all-time great quarterback, still playing at a good level. They'll be 10-7. We would fast forward to 2027 of January, and we'd be having the same conversation. What's next for Pittsburgh? So Mike McCarthy, obviously a good coach. And yes, what he does for quarterbacks, if you pair him with a young quarterback, or if you want to tell me that it's Will Howard, okay. But if you're going to say to me, Pittsburgh, that we just want to put the Band-Aid on the feeling of the funeral in the locker room and we're just going to get Mike McCarthy and Aaron together, I think that's a catastrophic mistake in Pittsburgh, because you are now accepting mediocrity, and an organization and a brand that has never accepted mediocrity. And take it from me, I played on most organizations that they would strive for it. They were a standard, okay? They were a standard. And if they do that, that tells me that they're comfortable being like everybody else. Opinion.
Now, before we get to one other possible quarterback option for the Steelers, Bump, I wanted to ask you, should Aaron Rodgers be in Pittsburgh in 2026? Does that give them their best shot?
Aaron Rodgers does not give you a chance to win a Super Bowl. Neither does a young guy. So that's the tough part that they're in.
Just kind of where they are.
You go get a Malik Willis. Do you expect he's going to bring you a Super Bowl? No. No, it's tough. Where I don't agree with Orlovsky is he said the Steelers aren't okay with mediocrity. Yes, they are. For the last 5, 6, 7 years, they've been a mediocre team. So they're just in a weird spot, man. If you can't find anybody else, if you can't get Malik, I think you do have to bring Aaron back. I don't think you should, but what are your other options?
Well, what if you do get Malik? I mean, this is what Rich Eisen said.
The Rooneys have said they are hiring him because they are going to entrust him with the next young quarterback to season up in the way that he did Aaron Rodgers, okay? Go from Favre to Rodgers. So now he's going to go from Rodgers to whoever. Fill in the blank. Is it Will Howard? Is it going to be somebody that they draft? Is it somebody in this year's draft class? Is it in next year's draft class? Or could it be the individual I suspect they would definitely be interested in, certainly kick a tire on, and that's Malik Willis.
Now, Sam Darnold was a number 3 overall pick, so we're talking about 2 different baseline talent levels here. But, I mean, Bump, here in Seattle, we're currently covering a team heading to Super Bowl 60 that is kicking the tires on a quarterback who looked phenomenal last year for the Vikings, but who other teams had given up on. Is Malik Willis a way for the Steelers to find a more unconventional path back to a Super Bowl?
If you get Malik Willis, you have to do what the Seahawks have done, create a great defense, a on-point special team, and kind of change the culture there. Malik has shown some flashes with the Packers. He looked good, but you're going to need a complete team around him. He's not going to carry the squad by himself. He needs some help.
Next story here. Many people are still scratching their heads at Sean Payton's decision to go for it instead of kicking an easy field goal in Denver's 10-7 loss to the Patriots. ESPN's Damian Woody thinks teams are getting too aggressive on fourth down calls.
These coaches have gone way too far in their aggressiveness on fourth down. Are these coaches allergic to points? I just don't understand. And everyone talks about analytics. Yes, analytics has its place, but analytics can't tell you, the feel of the game, the circumstances in the game, all those type of nuances that aren't factored into analytics. And so for me, whether you're talking about Sean Payton going for it early and then, coming back to bite him and Sean McVay. Guys, what are we doing? You had an opportunity, kick the field goal, you're down 1. Now you're playing for a field goal instead of a touchdown.
God, imagine being allergic to points. A top 3 worst allergy, I think. Bump, is this a case of analytics going too far, or is this a case of bad decisions in the face of analytics telling you to do something else?
I blame 2 people. I blame Dan Campbell because he started this madness. And I blame the Madden generation because when you play Madden, dudes be going for it on 4th and 13. Be like, what the heck are you doing? Kick the damn ball.
That's where I go Wildcat.
It's a generation thing that's going on. No, I think that coaches want to go for the dagger at this point. And I think that analytics has influenced that a bit. Typically, when I was growing up, you never went for it on 4th down. Mm-hmm. If you were not 4th and 1 in their territory, you don't go for it. So I think it's a mix of things. I don't mind coaches being aggressive because if they do go for it, they look like geniuses. And to go for it on 4th down in those situations, you got to have some stones. So I respected me. I'm a bit more conservative. I put it on the foot.
I thought it was wild to see the exact opposite argument being made by Booger McFarland on NFL Primetime on Sunday night, where he was questioning the Rams' decision to go for it on 4th down 31-27, and then Devin Witherspoon makes the big play in the end zone. Yeah. Why would you not go for it in that spot?
Exactly.
Well, you can take the lead with a touchdown.
Yeah, I think that, we were just joined by Rob Staton earlier this hour, and I think he made a really good point that, first of all, the analytics actually tell you to go for a kick in Sean Payton's situation and to do exactly what Sean Payton did, try to win the game. Or, excuse me, wrong Sean. Sean McVay did and try to win the game in that moment.
That's
they're
the
all
entire
the
conference
same.
championship.
It's all the same. Too many mics, I've always said.
Not enough. We need a whole new generation.
But I think that So I don't think it's a conversation about just analytics, because the analytics here Sean Payton's going against. I think you're right, Bump. I think it's about boldness being repackaged as something that's great instead of something that's like a dumb decision. It's like, no, I'm going to show my quarterback that I believe in him. And it's like, okay, but your quarterback is Jarrett Stidham and there's a blizzard. Like, open your eyes, look around, look at the situation.
I think another thing that people don't consider too is coaches are on the sideline talking to their assistants and looking into the eyes of their players. That can influence you, man. I've been on the sideline as a coach in high school, 4th and something, and my boys are so confident that they're going to pick this up. They influence me to go for it. I'm riding y'all's vibe. Let's go get it. So there are other factors as well. I think that he felt confident. He probably had something dialed up that he thought was going to work.
Next story here. Sean McDermott is one of the most accomplished head coaches over the last decade, but will he get any interviews for the remaining job openings? Adam Schefter with the latest.
I believe Sean is in a spot where, like, when you go through an ordeal like that, it takes a toll on everybody. And I've seen coaches who get fired carry those scars with them years later. So it's sort of like going through a breakup. I think anybody needs time to heal a little bit. And so the fact that he hasn't interviewed anywhere, when I can almost vow that there's been at least one team that has reached out to interview him, that tells me that that's not something right now that's top of mind for him. But my read on it is that he's going to take his time. He'll return to coaching, but he'll return to coaching on his schedule.
Meanwhile, the Bills finalized a deal with their offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, earlier today to make him their new head coach. So Joe Brady in Sean McDermott's role. Sean McDermott now, maybe, according to Adam Schefter, or certainly what I thought he was implying, taking some time
to heal.
Taking time to heal.
He should, man. He got done dirty. One of the most successful coaches the last 7-8 years. And I like the Joe Brady hire, man. Get someone in-house. He knows Josh Allen. He's a younger guy. He was on the market last year as a potential head coach. That makes more sense to me. I understand Dayball too because of the relationship there, but I like the Joe Brady hire.
All right, so we had the Bills job getting filled this morning with OC Joe Brady. Obviously, several others have already been filled. Which head coaching job will be the next domino to fall? ESPN's Dan Graziano, or Curtis, as they say in Italian,
Graziano,
thinks it'll be the Cleveland Browns.
I would guess Cleveland. Cleveland seems like they're pretty close. They spent a lot of time yesterday with Nate Shieldhouse, who's the young passing game coordinator for the Rams. It's been thought for a while now that he's been very high on their list, and I think if with Grant Udinski from the Jaguars pulling out, I think they're pretty much down to where they are with this guy. And if not him, then maybe it ends up just being a promotion for Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator, to head coach, because he's interviewed twice for it. Let it be known that he wants it. So it sounds like they're getting to the point of a decision there. Now, it could be if they want Shieldhouse. He talked to the Bills last night. Does he drag it out a little bit? But that'd be my guess. I wouldn't be shocked if any of the four happened today, or if all of the four happened today. But who's next? My best guess is Cleveland.
Now, Robert Saleh was a big name hire for Tennessee. Dable, by the way, also heading out there as coordinator. Harbaugh, obviously a huge hire for the Giants. But otherwise, it feels like it's been not a quiet hiring period, because there were 9 head coaching vacancies, but just a lot of promotions of coordinators, maybe some in-house moves, offensive coordinators taking over in first-time roles, right? It doesn't feel like a big moving around of big names.
No, not really. The big boy already got taken, and that was a Harbaugh over there to the Giants. Rumor on the street, though.
Oh?
Deion Sanders. Cleveland Browns.
Stop right now.
Hey, it was a conversation this morning.
Stop it.
It was a conversation this morning. His name has been linked. Just saying.
Coming up next, the implications of the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl.
Holy smokes! For 40 years, he's been part of the soundtrack of summer across the Pacific Northwest.
The Griffeys with back-to-back home runs.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports, congratulates Rick Riz.
Everybody scores!
Season 41 may be his last, but it promises to be one to remember.
Riz, the smoothest voice in the game. He deserves to go out on top.
Don't miss a minute of Rick Riz calling Mariners baseball on Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. You know, Dave, I love sport. You love sport. And I love sitting with coaches and hearing their game plan each and every week. What are the keys to a First Mark Insurance game plan?
It's a great question, Brock. I think there's really 3 keys to a great game plan with us. Number 1 is we want to make sure that our clients have the correct coverage for their unique specific needs. So that's number 1. Do you have the right coverage? Number 2, once we have the right coverage, are we getting that coverage at the most competitive price possible? And then last and not least would be, once we have the right coverage at the most competitive price, are we providing world-class service to those customers so that when they need it, they have someone there that's got their back?
Those are the 3 keys to a First Mark Challenge victory. And man, am I so glad Molly and I took the challenge. We are one of so many through a decade plus of being a First Mark Challenge victory. You can too. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Bull riding is not just a sport, it's a gamble of guts and glory. Nothing else compares. It's Busch Light PBR Everett at Angel of the Winds Arena, February 13th and 14th. Ready to be cowboy? Get your tickets at Ticketmaster. It's bull time.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Good Dog Auto Glass.
When the stakes are high, you want the best on your team. When your windshield breaks, don't settle for your insurance company's fix that's just safe enough. Trust Good Dog Auto Glass, where the quality isn't light. We do all the things the little guys don't, and we do all the things the big guy does.
We answer the phone when you call, we work for you, and we will walk you through the insurance process. Visit GoodDogAutoGlass.com, Puget Sound's most trusted auto glass company, and get more bang for your buck.
Home of the NFC champion Seahawks.
We are going to the Super Bowl.
Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
The new year is finally here, and you could kick the new year off right by getting in shape and making Top Fitness your first stop. Hey, Brock, you're here with my friends at Top Fitness, where their stores are celebrating the new year with some great deals. You could take your New Year's resolution seriously with the very best fitness gear there is set up in your home by our professional installers. They sell the best quality products available. Brands like Precor, True, Octane, Inspire, and Hyrox. Come in now and check out the best deal of deals on treadmills. They're Precor 885 treadmills that are lease returns normally sell for over $13,000, now only $36.99, including a full 3-year warranty. This is the same commercial treadmill sold to health clubs worldwide. And every new treadmill, elliptical, and home gym, well, they're all on sale. They got the largest selection of home fitness equipment in Washington, and their staff will show you why. It's no secret why everybody from pro athletes to personal trainers love their stores. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about hockey. Don't you love a sport where it's almost fair game to throw off your gloves and bare knuckle it in that gray area? Hockey brings excitement, intensity, passion, often drinking. It's like a party with a puck. If you enjoy too many shots at the bar while watching slap shots on the ice, don't try to make a breakaway because the police won't just stonewall your goal. They're much more likely to throw you in that penalty box. And it won't be just a few minutes to think about what you did. Go ahead, enjoy cracking one open. Just don't overdo it. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com for your free private consultation. Hockey is one of the only sports where you can wrap around the goal and there's no out of bounds. But the roadway is a different story. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I don't want to put the cart before the horse with this one, Bump, but we've got 2 weeks of a lot of hypotheticals here. So the one I'm going to right now is if the Seahawks win the Super Bowl. You got to get there, quite literally, to Santa Clara. You have to win the game. You have to fight through it. This is a task not yet finished, but I do think that this is a fun conversation to have. So let's live in a world where the Seahawks do. Knock on wood. I just did. Don't worry. I want to talk about what it could mean for the rest of the league, especially when it comes to building championship teams, central to what you do at quarterback. Kevin Clark, host of the This Is Football podcast, had this to say when he joined us earlier last year.
The Seahawks can't. The way I view it is if you don't have an elite quarterback, I'll say top 7 or 8. If you don't have one of those guys, everything else has to go right for you. I think Jalen Hurts is probably a good example, even though he's an absolute top 10 quarterback now. But like at times during the last 3 years, maybe you put him at 12th or 13th, and obviously he's gotten better. But they built the trenches flawlessly. They built a secondary. They hired Vic Fangio. They got Saquon Barkley, who's one of the most dynamic players in the NFL.
Now, that was Kevin saying, no, I do not think Sam Darnold is good enough for the Seahawks to win a Super Bowl. If they are to get to and win a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold, it'll be because they became the 2024 Eagles. They had the league's leading rusher, which they don't this year. They had the league's leading receiver, which they did. They did do that. They have the best offensive line in football. Significantly better than it was last year, but Bump, I don't think anyone would say they have the league's best offensive line. Now, do they have an elite defense? Yes. Part of what Kevin's saying is true. A lot of things around Sam Darnold are working and really hitting on all cylinders, but they're in a Super Bowl in part because of Sam. And I think that I wonder, Bump, if the conversation will start to become, oh, there could be more than one path to a Super Bowl that doesn't just involve having Patrick Mahomes as your starter.
I think smart football minds understand that already. I think it's just becoming more of a conversation now because of guys like Jalen Hurts, because of guys like Sam Darnold. Those are going to be the two guys to go to the Super Bowl and hopefully win this thing, not name Pat Mahomes that had a team around him, whereas Pat Mahomes was Pat Mahomes, and you sprinkle in 1 year good defense, 1 year good run game, and some Travis Kelce. But I also think that Sam... He's not like he's still early in his journey. Like, he's rewriting his resume in real time right now. I think he has the arm talent to become a top 5, top 6 quarterback in this game. And now you got that potential. You surround it with a good defense, a good special teams. Who knows? I'm not ready to say Sam will never be an elite quarterback because I've seen him get better. From last year with his struggles to this year, getting better throughout the season, it's really it's like his second stint. I know he's been with 5 teams, but this is really like his second stint. So, yeah, I think that Sam and Jalen Hurts will prove that you don't have to be one of the best to win it. But I'm not going to sit here and say that Sam doesn't have the potential to, in a year or two, be legitimately considered a top 5 quarterback.
I think both of those things stem from the same thing we do, which is if I don't see it early, I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, let's look at the other side here. When you're looking at I almost said the Steelers. When you're looking at the New England Patriots and Drake May, the Patriots have done this in a way that I assumed the Seahawks would have to. I thought the Seahawks would have to go the way the Patriots have, this very conventional path. Now, I didn't think the Seahawks would, have an abysmal 2-win season, 4-win season, or whatever to be able to get a top 3 pick in their quarterback. I thought maybe they'd have to trade. But I thought, well, surely we've seen Mahomes, Patriots with Brady. I know he wasn't a top pick, famously. But I thought you're going to have to draft your quarterback. And that will be your guy, and you're going to have to do as much as you can to build a team around him and win early before you have to pay him a ton, and then hopefully he's your guy for 20 years in an ideal world. That's not what the Seahawks are doing. We're looking at the other side of the fence knowing that this is the path most teams have taken. You're so bad that you draft your quarterback, and then it works out. Many teams in the AFC actually have that path right now. That's not the path Seattle's taking, and also being challenged, to your point, is, okay, well, what if a guy doesn't have to prove to you in the first 4 years of his career that he's an elite top 5 talent? Why can't he grow into that?
It's tough for a number 3 pick, for teams to have that mindset with a number 3 pick. Give them time to develop. No, you're number 3. You got to come in here and ball right now.
You don't have time.
This is why we drafted you. You got to save us. And there are some situations where it does happen. Drake May opted in second year. He's doing his thing. I think variety is what's best, and we're seeing that this year. I can get to the radio station 3 different ways. I can go 522 to 405 to the 5 and bam.
And
y'all don't get on my head for saying the 405 and the 5, right? This is what I say, all right?
I got to the 5.
Or I can take the 405 to 520 bridge and pay that toll. Or I can take 405 to 90 and not pay the toll and get here a little later.
Or take the bus like Jonathan Gannon.
We're all going to the same place, right? I'm going to the same place. So many ways to do it. And I think that's where fans get caught up because you're right. We've seen the most success with the top quarterbacks getting there and them changing an organization and leading the charge. But I also think there's different ways to do it. We've seen it. We're seeing it this year. We see it with Drake May. Drake May ain't over there doing it all by himself. Granted, MVP candidate, but I think that Matthew Stafford is going to is far beyond that. But yeah, variety is good, man. And I think the way the Seahawks are doing it is the way that most teams have the best chance of doing it, because you're not going to have an elite quarterback.
Also, look, an elite quarterback will cover up holes on your roster, right? Having Patrick Mahomes helps when you have a wide receiver group that's leading the league in drops. They didn't this year, but that wasn't that long ago, right? It helps when you have an offense that isn't incredibly effective. But let's not act like the teams that are getting to and winning Super Bowls are horrible teams being lifted up, thrust into this spotlight by elite quarterback play. The quarterback gets it done, especially if he is a top-tier guy. Tom Brady covers up a lot. Mahomes covers up a lot. But guys, the teams that go to and win Super Bowls are usually fairly complete, usually have pretty good defenses. I mean, Tom Brady in his early years with the Patriots had one of the best defenses in the league. Tom Brady in 2020 with Tampa Bay, when they went to the Super Bowl as a wild card and won, had one of the best defensive lines in football. The number 2 run defense in football. I think we also like to pretend that you can get away with being a bad team. No, you should always try to be as complete a team as you possibly can, and the Seahawks have done that this year, Bump.
Yeah, it's listen, your quarterback's gonna have to win you some ball games, though. No matter what, even if you don't have the elite of the elite quarterback, at some moment he's gonna have to win you a ball game, especially in the playoffs. So I think that's essentially what you're paying for with these quarterbacks. Sam's had one of his moments last game. The defense didn't win that ball game. Sam Darnold and the offense won that ball game, and I think that's what you pay these quarterbacks for. And you can have a complete team. I bet you Trent Dilfer still had to make a couple throws with that team. You know what I mean? At some point, the quarterback has to show up. It's just how often are you going to need him to show up?
For about a month. They went a month without a touchdown.
See, that's why it drives me crazy when people compare any modern quarterback to Trent Dilfer. It's like, no.
It's like Trent Dilfer was quite
so
literally
bad.
a game manager.
Saying the quarterback isn't the single best player on your team does not mean he's Trent Dilfer. I feel like I'm disrespecting Trent Dilfer to his face. I'm so sorry, but different era.
I would disrespect Trent Dilfer to his face.
It was 26 years ago.
Yes, I would.
You would not.
Yes, I would. He gave one of the very worst answers I've ever heard on this station years ago. We got to find it here.
Okay.
It was so bad.
You would not. I'm telling you right now, you wouldn't disrespect him to his face. That's like my sister the other day said she was going to confront someone. I said, Samantha, no, you're not.
He was asked about how good the Seahawks Legion of Boom defense was.
Michael Bennett's pretty darn good. Maybean's pretty darn good. Avrill's pretty good. Irvin's pretty good. Wagner's pretty good. KJ Wright's pretty good. Sherman's pretty good. Earl Thomas is pretty good.
Give me more than that, Trent, please.
Okay, look, it's not great. It's not great.
2015.
It's not great. I have no defense.
They're pretty good.
Look, he hasn't had to be
Best
special.
defense of their era.
He hasn't had to show fireworks, okay? He hasn't had to have hot takes and be special. It's not in his calling card, okay?
Kind of his whole thing.
Let me get back to this. How much time do I have here, Curtis?
We got to go to break.
Okay. Well, the conversation for another day then, Bump, is free agent quarterbacks that could be available for other teams to take a similar path, maybe. But we're talking Seahawks all week long for good reason. They're going to Super Bowl 60. Coming up next, we've talked for years about how the Seahawks are going to find their long-term quarterback of the future here in Seattle. What if they already have it? That's next.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
Well, I think it was a swing and a miss week 1.
They're trying to find exactly who they are and what they are.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60 is on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoffs gear and custom Simply original designs. Shop in-store or online and enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify. By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, ultra-low sugar brain and body fuel. Our IQ Bar plant protein bars help you refuel smarter. Our IQ Mix Zero Sugar Hydration Mixes help you hydrate harder. And our IQ Joe Instant Mushroom Coffees help you caffeinate larger. All three product lines boost physical performance, but they also boost mental performance via nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane. Right now, you can try our epic IQ Bar Ultimate Sampler Pack with 9 protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 coffee sticks. Win your day with clean ingredients, amazing taste, and superior brain and body nutrition. Try IQ Bar today.
Get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text IQ Bar to 64,000. Text IQ Bar to 64,000 to get this exclusive radio offer. That's IQ Bar to 64,000.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/plan for 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Bills have their new head coach, but it's a familiar face. Buffalo will promote 36-year-old offensive coordinator Joe Brady to head coach. The team announced that earlier today. Meanwhile, in Tennessee, the Titans, who have found their head coach in Robert Saleh, have hired former Giants head coach Brian Daboll as OC.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
All right, what I need to know coming your way at the end of the hour. Get those questions in any time from now until 1:45. 866-979-3776. Get those questions in. I already love the first one I have on here. Okay, so I have a point from a listener about quarterbacks. We're talking quarterbacks here. We were just talking about the implications of the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. The New England Patriots are taking a path that many teams have, including teams that have won multiple Super Bowls like the Chiefs. You draft your young quarterback somewhere in the top 10, and then you go on and build your team, and you win as much as you can, etc. The Seahawks are taking an interesting approach, which is that while their quarterback, Sam Darnold, is a top 3 pick, it was not made by them, and they signed him as a free agent who is now on his 5th team, just a more untraditional approach. So 2 things to get to here. One is for a little bit later. It's about quarterbacks and, kind of how you build sustained success. We're going to start with Sam Darnold. Is Sam Darnold the answer for the quarterbacks landing for the Seahawks landing their quarterback of the future? Because we were all talking about Sam Darnold bump the way that we were about Geno for the longest time. Oh, it's a bridge guy. Yeah, it's a bridge guy. You can be good enough. You can be competitive, try to build up this team, and then maybe Jalen Milroe turns out. Like, I don't know how many people, when they signed Sam Darnold as free agent, were like, this is the dude. This is him. This is the answer long term.
You know, it's crazy. I wonder if Mike McDonald and Kubiak and John looked at the film and said, this is the guy.
Maybe.
And we're just ahead of the game, right? And we're sitting here asking ourselves, all right, we got to see it. Is he really the guy? I thought he had potential to be the guy, but at the same time, John and Mike gave themselves a way out. Don't work out 2nd year, you can get out of this contract. He's going to be here now. Like, this is it's official. So you have found the guy. You found the guy, and you know how he needs to be supported. Like most other quarterbacks, good defense, good run game, you got some talent on the outside. But I also think that you found the guy who's a little older in the league, right? Not old, but not young, but is still developing as a quarterback. I think that's the most exciting part, is that you have the maturity of a guy who's been on 5 teams, who's been around Shanahan and all these other guys, but he's still developing as a quarterback. So, yeah, he's the guy.
I think that's the point I loved most about the conversation we just had, right? Like, I came into it thinking, our other team's going to go sign a free agent quarterback and have kind of like an okay guy who's outside the top 10 to lead them. And you said, well, wait. Who says Sam needs to forever be outside the top 10? Like, I am not convinced that he can't be even better than he is. I loved the question you brought up about, like, well, what if you can add a guy who might be 27, 28, but that he can still evolve as a passer? Like, we tend to think if you don't do it in the first 2 years, if you don't show me everything you can be in the first 3 years of your career, then you must not be great.
Yeah, that's our thinking for some reason. And we forget that most of the time, well, these COVID kids, they come in the league like 27 years old now. But most of the time, you're dealing with a 22, 23-year-old who's still trying to figure some things out, right? Just look at Caleb and the jump that he's made from year 1 to year 2. Why did he make the jump? Changed the coaching staff over there, got some weapons. Things got to go right. Like we said this before, most players in the NFL will be seen as busts because they don't play for 10 to 12 years and go into the Hall of Fame, especially at the quarterback position, because every year there are 7, 8, 9 quarterbacks going to be rotated in from the college factory and thought to be the next best guy. And because of that, the guy who's been playing for 2 years, who hasn't fully developed yet, is going to get yanked and maybe be a backup and hopefully get a second chance at the league. But no, I'm very secure with Sam Darnold being the dude.
Do you think sometimes what hinders quarterbacks, players in general, like age, is something that for any professional athlete is going to be a hindrance? Unfortunately, our bodies are just better. They're better able to respond and be conditioned and everything when we are younger. And so age is always working against you every year that you're in the league. That's just science. But outside of that, do you think that part of what hinders quarterbacks who, quote, fail earlier in their career is that well, now you've got mental hurdles to overcome. And now maybe you've gone through 4 or 5 OCs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and some people can handle it. Look at Jalen Hurts. It's like 5th or 6th.
Which is
on
crazy.
different offensive coordinator.
Justin Herbert's going to be on his 5th.
Yeah. I mean,
think.
some guys can handle it. You got to be mentally tough and also just well-versed, man. Because offenses are different, but they're the same as the terminology at the same time and the approach or whatnot. But, yeah, that can hurt a guy. And it can also help a guy, right? Imagine Sam's journey from New York. Then you go over to either Panthers or San Francisco, either way, and then you find yourself here. You can look at it as, man, I've had so many stops and so many different coordinators. Man, I'm confused. What am I going to do? Or you can look at it and say, I've had so many stops and so many coordinators. I understand football at a different level now, and I'm going to apply everything that I've learned on my journey to the current stop with Sam to be here in Seattle. And I guarantee that has to be his approach, man. And I was looking at X, maybe before the show, and someone was reading Sam Darnold's draft profile to him, and at the bottom of it says, doesn't let failure affect him. That was a note someone wrote about Sam Darnold, and it's so true. You look at this right now. The Vikings last year, the way they ended that season, him not playing well against the Rams, come over here not playing well against the Rams, finally gets these dudes. Yeah, I think that is one of the biggest traits, most important traits you should have as a quarterback is don't let failure affect you because you are going to fail at some point.
I really do think that Sam Darnold one time in a mic'd up moment as a young player saying, I'm seeing ghosts out there, man, and critiquing himself caving to a pass rush set a narrative that followed him for his entire career.
Yeah.
And look, statistically, you can find numbers about like, oh, Sam Darnold, under more pressure with Minnesota in his final 2 games, struggled. Yeah, sure. Like Sam did not look good in those games, right? You could find things. Sam had more turnovers than any other quarterback this year. All right. But we tend to I'm using royal we, tend to only isolate the negative that supports that idea that Sam can't meet the moment and completely ignore this stat, for instance, from Brian Nemhauser, that Sam Darnold led all 2025 postseason quarterbacks in passer rating, EPA per play, and success rate.
Yeah.
Like better than in a different amount of games, better than Josh Allen, better than Trevor Lawrence, who's an MVP candidate apparently, better than Justin Herbert, better than Caleb Williams, who has a hell of an arm. That in the 2 biggest games of his career, Sam played well.
You did. Sam Darnold threw for 2,102 yards on downfield passes this season. That's 10-plus air yards, the 4th most in the NFL. Just like you can look at the major stats, touchdowns, interception ratio, how many times he's been sacked, maybe even his red zone numbers. I believe before last week started, he was only completing like 50-something% inside the 20 and the 10, but he has like 15 touchdowns inside the 20 and 10 touchdowns inside the 10. Right? There's always going to be something to support your argument. But I like that stat because the narrative was he got away from pushing the ball down the field, right? And maybe he did cut down a bit, but even with him cutting down and being a bit more responsible, or maybe Kubiak calling the plays a bit differently, he was still 4th in the league when it comes to pushing the ball down the field. So I think that depending on what you consume and who you consume it from, right? Whether it be a guy at The Athletic, a guy at Sports Illustrated, a guy at ESPN, or here, people tend to gravitate towards that and then make that complete fact. Like whatever that person says is fact. And maybe sometimes it is, but sometimes some bias gets in there and they don't tell the whole story when it comes to Sam.
Yep.
We know this about Sam. My man turned the ball over, led the league. For sure.
It is what it is.
Also was like top 2 or 3 in the league when it comes to 4th quarter wins and comebacks. So you're never going to have the perfect player. It's just, are you willing to deal with some of their flaws?
Well, and we tend to ignore flaws from great quarterbacks. Like absolutely no one is arguing that Matthew Stafford is an MVP frontrunner this year. I don't know a single person that will say Matthew Stafford's an objectively bad player. What we will ignore is how many interceptions he had in 2021 when the Rams won the Super Bowl, which is 17 in the regular season. Yeah, because he's throwing it a ton. Because Cooper Kupp won Triple Crown and finished with the 2nd most receiving yards in a season ever by any player in NFL history.
Yeah.
So you're going to take some shots. I don't know. I'm telling you right now, the conversation about Sam Darnold will be moved from if the Seahawks win, Instead of can the Seahawks win with Sam Darnold, it will become, is Sam Darnold a top 5 guy? Is he a top 10 guy? Like that, I promise you, if the Seahawks win, that's what everyone nationally is going to be talking about heading into next year. It's going to be Jalen Hurts 2.0. Speaking of kind of those untraditional paths to building a Super Bowl roster, Sam Darnold benefits the Seahawks because he is not getting paid a top quarterback salary. A question from a listener, or a statement from a listener. I want you to sound off on it. I think elite quarterbacks, says this listener, who have been paid actually damage teams' chances to win due to taking financial resources away from key areas. Look at the Bills, Bengals, and Ravens, or the Hawks after paying Russ. What do you think?
Yeah, it definitely hurts. It limits what you can do, for sure. And that's why I say the timing of this Sam Darnold thing is perfect for the Seahawks, because you're not paying him $60 million a year. You got him at, $45 million a year. He's still young. He's still developing. And it allows you to go ahead and do some other things. Like, you got to make some decisions coming up here this offseason about who you're going to keep, who you're going to move on from. And because you've gotten your quarterback for the low, you got $76 million in cap space. That's 5th most in the NFL. Look at the teams who are ahead of you. These teams are garbage, right? That's why they have the most. Tennessee, Las Vegas, Chargers ain't bad, and the Jets. And then it's you, then the Commanders. So, yeah, your quarterback is always going to be your most expensive asset. But if you can find a diamond in the rough, like the Hawks have found with Sam Darnold for the low, it definitely gives you more options.
From the 425, didn't KC win after a big contract to Mahomes? Yes, that was going to be my response to this. And not only that, but like when you look at why the Bengals failed, they aren't drafting and developing good defensive talent. Like Joe Burrow should have been part of an MVP conversation last year, and instead the Bengals didn't make the playoffs, but he was phenomenal. So I think that having more resources invested in certain things is part of what hurts you when you have less to spend. Most teams will find themselves there eventually. The vast majority, if you are a good team, it means you have some good players.
Yep.
And eventually you got to pay those guys. So you're going to find yourself putting that money into a small amount of players, no matter what team you are. I think it's key that you continue to develop talent around those players, to find small free agent signings that end up paying off, right? Zach Bond with the Eagles last year, like just smaller moves that end up being really, really impactful. And part of why Seattle struggled too is maybe not investing in all the right places, right? Your offensive line was bad for a long time. Is it because you weren't hitting on draft picks there? Mm-hmm. Is it because you didn't have high draft picks because you were successful? Is it because money was sent into Russell Wilson and your defensive stars? Or did you miss out on other moments? Like, this is a conversation that I think is fascinating that, like, isn't entirely because of quarterback salaries. However, I'm going to cap it off before we get to 4 down territory by saying that Sam not making that top quarterback salary is huge for Seattle this year, who did make a ton of free agent additions. Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Duke's quarterback was allowed to transfer to Miami. How do you think this deal got done?
This is one of the first situations we've seen here with a quarterback trying to leave or a player trying to leave, trying to transfer, but NIL money has kind of got him linked to Duke. He signed a contract and said they can't go. There has to be some type of payout when it comes to this. They're not just going to let a guy go. And this got me thinking, man, the deeper we get into this NIL and transfer portal or whatnot, the more this is going to come up. So now if you are a university, and we're treating these guys, they're professional athletes at this point. They're professional athletes that go to school.
Paid.
Yeah. You heard Carson Beck say, I graduated 2 years ago. I don't go to school.
That was wild.
I just get money
and
play football. What if colleges are allowed to trade their players now? Because these players are dipping on it. What if, I don't see this happening, but what if there's a world where Duke is like, yeah, I'll trade you Mensa for X amount of dollars, pay that NIL out, and give me a 2-star. And that 2-star has to go. Could you imagine the chaos? Families would be in shambles. Moms will be crying. Dads will be frustrated. It's looking more and more like a professional sport. It is what it is. I don't think this will ever happen because I think that sooner or later someone's going to step up in leadership and get some structure to this whole thing. But we're talking contracts. We're talking money. We're talking transferring. You know the NCAA is petty. Oh, they can just transfer, but we don't have any say. You know what? We'll trade them. Pay this NIL, give me 2 2-stars, and you out of there.
NCAA continues to live in this weird world where they are both professional and not professional at the same time, and it's messing up so many things. I don't know that they ever get to the point of, and I know you're throwing out, like, look at this insane world of fully trading, but I do wonder what the next step is. What's the next step in the evolution of college football when it comes to player movement, the professionalization of teams and leagues? One theory, for instance, for the longest time was forget the ACC, forget the Big 12. Eventually, it's just going to be two giant conferences. Yeah. It's going to be the Big 10 and SEC. Like, that was a theory for a long time, and quite frankly, given the strength of those two conferences, it feels like it could happen.
It's looking like it.
Man, that's just I think because it involves like 18, 19-year-olds that are technically enrolled in school.
So what, soccer?
I know.
Dudes turn pro at 15.
I know.
Be moving them around. If you want to be pros, let's go ahead and treat everything like a pro.
See, I'm co-signing your idea that, like, contracts should be more serious. Like lean more heavily into real contracts. Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
You can get out of an NIL deal. That's not a real contract.
Yeah. Oh, second down. Sorry. Matt,
How many times have you done this?
I've had 2 sips of Diet Coke, okay? I'm running low here, okay? I'm fine. I've got it. Second down. Hi, is Mike McDonald not following a trend?
Since taking over as Seahawks head coach, Mike McDonald has gone forward on just 13.7% of fourth down opportunities, the second lowest in the NFL. This season, he's gone forward on a league low 11.3% on fourth downs, including an optimal goal forward rate of 58.3, the 8th lowest in the league, and well below the NFL average of 70.8%. Mike McDonald says, I am conservative. We are not going to do that. If it's not 4th and 1, 4th and inches, if we can't guarantee the barnyard is going to be effective, I'm not going to do it. And I'm not mad at that because that's the way I coach. I was very conservative on fourth down.
Yeah.
I hardly went for it unless we needed it, right? Like no time left or no timeouts, fourth quarter type stuff.
How I would do.
Mike is conservative, and he's not going with the trend that the league is going for. Guys going for it now on fourth down more than any other time in the history of football. Coaches are being aggressive, and Mike can be aggressive in his own way. When it comes to fourth down, Kubiak hits that line and say, can we go for it? Mike says, no, put it on the foot.
Do you ever hear about what we do at the Curtis and Stacy camp, coach more boldly than Michael Bumpus camp, LLC? We actually only go for it on fourth down.
That's right.
So what happens is we spike the ball or take a knee on first, second, and third, and we just face like a 4th and 10 or maybe sometimes a 4th and 12, depending on how the knee, how that goes every single time.
Right.
Yeah. So our final stat line is basically like, maybe we're 27 to 37 on fourth down.
Okay.
It really tests the mettle of our players. It weeds out
think
who
so
is
too.
Not built for this.
Separate the wheat from the chaff.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because every play is a high leverage play.
That's what we try to teach them.
Nice.
Yeah. Third down. I almost skipped it, frankly. What's a stat that shows how important Cooper Kupp is to this team?
The Seahawks offense has run the ball 45.4% of the time when Cooper Kupp has been on the field this season, including the playoffs. That's the 7th highest rate among wide receivers with at least 500 snaps. Cooper Kupp is the best blocking receiver in the world, Craig. He, whenever he's lined up tight in those bunch formations or condensed formations, he's so good at, like, when you're blocking a bigger dude, you're just trying to get in his way. I'll leverage him, get lower, and just get in his way. And he's so good at sealing that corner. So many times I've seen him seal the corner with that DM. Abe Lucas wraps around. Now you got 72 going to the second level, trying to just kill safeties and DBs. He's important to the run game. And typically when you do have these bigger runs, when K9's running down the field, Zach Charbonet's running down the field, you get through the first wave, right, the D-line, the second level, but you get bodies on safeties and corners, man. That's where the 40, 50-yard type of runs happen. And I think Cooper Kupp is rubbing off on these guys, man. I think all these guys play the game with integrity and they do their job. JSN's a good blocker as well. But when you see the old head going out there, giving it all out for the team, you got no choice but to fall in line.
Fourth down. Earlier in the show, we were joined by Seattle Times host, Seattle Times reporter Bob Condotta. Anything stand out from Bob?
Yeah, he said he felt like K9 has been playing good all year. I asked him, I said, I feel like K9 is playing different. He goes, yeah, I think he's been playing good all year, which I can agree with. I also feel like it's just different these last couple of games. Like his legs are turning over harder. He's playing with more confidence, making guys miss in the A gap. It just looks different. You can't even measure it. You just got to watch the game and just feel the way K9 is running. It feels a little different to me. Also, he says it looks like his Raiders are bust for Kubiak. I hope Kubiak is looking at Vegas and saying, no, thank you. I want no parts of whatever's going on over there because it is not stable at all. Why should we expect it to be? And then Super Bowl activities. I realized real quickly that, I already know me and Bob are different, but we're going to have different Super Bowl experiences. But I'm going to try to get him out one day. I'm going to go hit the town with Bob Condotta, and I'm going to say, Bob, what do you like to do? And then we're going to do the exact opposite. So I want him to get out of his comfort zone.
I was trying to find, there was some story that went viral where Fernando Mendoza was asked about like how to talk to girls, and he said that he didn't have time for a girlfriend.
Distract from watching film.
Yeah, then there was like a separate story that I couldn't tell if it was real. I was trying to find it about him saying that he didn't really know how. Like he's like, I don't really talk to girls. I'm not entirely sure.
He's gonna meet his wife in church.
In Vegas. Anyways, I was gonna ask about Fernando Mendoza, so I was Googling Fernando Mendoza and I saw that story. Now I think you're right in that what felt like a sure thing, Clint Kubiak leaving, may now be Clint Kubiak staying because the Raiders are the likeliest team remaining. How much of a turnaround can they have if they will get Fernando Mendoza, but like what can he do for them in their first year with him? I know he's a rookie, but could he be special?
He could be. You never know. I mean, if we had this science figured out, every first round or every number one quarterback pick would be just ready to go.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? It's all about how you support that dude over there. There's not a lot going on. I got a buddy. He threw a theory out there. He said, what if the Rams trade a whole bunch of first picks to get Mendoza to set up their future, and the Raiders build from inside out and build their future?
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that either. And
I'm not mad at that.
My buddy's a Rams fan, so that's why he's coming up with this stuff. He feels like Matthew Stafford's almost gone.
Well, we know they have a willingness to. Leslie absolutely has a willingness to trade for those picks. Ooh,
Yeah.
That's interesting. Hype Train coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
It's awesome to see. I can tell you, just being down there, every one of them singing the same tune about the team, and I love these guys. I'm so happy to be here with these guys.
They've built a culture that they care about each other. And so that obviously sounds very corny, but it works. Maybe people will stop texting into our show, Bob, saying it doesn't matter if he's a nice guy or not. Yes, it does, because it's the ultimate team game.
Only on Seattle Sports.
Stacy here to tell you that I have had a horrible experience buying and selling a car, so I know a good one when I see it. And that's why I want to tell you about Wayscar Ford in Auburn. These are real people I've worked with, Mark and Chris and Way. Himself, Way is real. I know them, I love them, and you will too. And they want you to have a hassle-free, no-pressure experience when you're looking to sell your car or buy a new one. And let me tell you what, trusting the people you're working with is massive. Again, I really did sell my car years ago to a place that absolutely ripped me off. And I wish I would have known about Wayscar Ford's profit share program. Here's how it works. You bring in the car you're looking to sell. They'll give you a true evaluation. And if you accept the offer, they'll pay you the same day. The whole thing takes like 15 minutes. Then once they resell the car, they'll split any profit they make with you, 50-50. The program's a win-win for everyone. They get to save money on auction fees and travel expenses, and you get to avoid scams and hassle. Plus, you can upgrade to a new model from their vast inventory like I did. I recommend a Bronco Sport. I love mine. They've just surpassed sharing over $1 million with people who have sold them their cars, so find out how you can do it too at wayscar4.com.
For those diagnosed with anxiety, depression, or PTSD, Northwest Ketamine Clinics wants you to know hope exists. A recent patient, Evan, details his experience.
Every day was a struggle. I was constantly throughout my life researching what are new ways, are there any breakthroughs for depression, anxiety, these things. And at some point I started to read a few things about ketamine. I probably read every single thing on the website multiple times.
Northwest Ketamine Clinics defines success as a reduction in symptoms by 50% or more. Over a 3-week period, 86% of their patients are successful.
When I arrived at the clinic, it was just a beautiful, peaceful, quiet place. As I saw that healing and growth could take place, and as I put the energy into it, I just saw so many things change in my life.
Welcome to the Pacific Northwest's most experienced ketamine center. Book a free phone or video consult at nwketamineclinics.com. Healing starts here.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Listen every day to the Bump and Stacy Show for headline rewrites. Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services. Security systems and fire alarms for every business. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
For your big game party, you better pop in to Total Wine and More for a guaranteed win. We've got thousands of bottles down every aisle, and prices so low they're gonna make you smile. Ask our helpful guides for a recommendation to add some wine and beer to your beverage station. Discover something new and let the fun begin. Come on down to Total Wine and More for a guaranteed win.
Drink responsibly, B21.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
If you guys remember, Chris Sims said something interesting about the Seahawks earlier today, and that is going to lead off our hype train. I'll play you the cut in a second. Right now, let's head to the station while I get you ready for this one. Your hype train will be that the Seahawks do not have an answer if JSN is shut down. If you need a reminder, Chris Sims with this one from Kay Adams Show.
One weakness that I do think has to get delved into here in the next 2 weeks. It can't just be Jackson Smith and Jigba.
It can't just be Jackson Smith and Jigba. That's your hype train. The Seahawks don't have an answer if JSN is shut down. That's a problem.
They do have an answer. You got a run game that works. You got a veteran who's good for about 60. You got tight ends who can contribute. You got other receivers. I mean, look, you got Rashid Shaheed, the fastest dude in the game. There are other ways around this thing. I doubt this happens, but if JSN were to be, shut down, all right, that means they're bracketing, they're keeping the safety over the top. That means there's space and opportunity for other people. What I doubt is that you find a way to completely get him out the game. He only had 19 yards one game. It's still an effective game with a touchdown. I don't know what the question was, but it sounds like I'm not on this train. I'm not on the train, Matt. I'm not on it.
Thank you.
Got you.
The Seahawks, says Chris Sims, just don't have an answer if JSN is shut down. Bump's not boarding. Curtis, are you?
Quick question. Who made the the first catch of the game on Sunday?
Rashid
Shaheed. He went 51 yards?
That is correct.
And is widely considered to be one of the best downfield threats in the NFL. You've got AJ Barner, who is emerging as one of the best young tight ends in the game. You've got Cooper Kupp, who is a veteran, a steadying presence, also a previous Super Bowl MVP, by the way. Seahawks absolutely have enough help if JSN doesn't get his in the Super Bowl. So I am not boarding this train. The Seahawks do have answers if JSN is shut down. By the way, the one game that JSN did not lead the team in receptions or lead the team in yardage this year, they won, and that was the Minnesota game. So.
Yeah, they've won every game where he's had under 100 yards. I think that Chris Sims is trying to find weaknesses on a team that's pretty complete, that has weaknesses, but is pretty complete. So, look, that's the business, right? You've got to have a take. You've got to have your argument and stand by it. So, credit to you. I just happen to disagree with him, and so I'm not boarding this one either. An empty train leaves the station. Next up, Matthew Stafford said, like last year, he's going to take some time. Take some time to figure out what to do with his future. The 38-year-old, well, I should say, he turns 38 a day before the Super Bowl. So the soon-to-be 38-year-old Matthew Stafford is a Ram in 2026. Bump.
My guy is going to be the MVP of the league. I know that can be seen as, maybe I go out on top. MVP, no, going on top will be a Super Bowl. When you toss 46 of them things and you still look like you can do it, it ain't time to hang up the cleats, man. You go ahead and give yourself another opportunity. If he did, I would love it for the division. Makes life easier for the Seahawks. But no, man, he's going to play next year.
Okay. I mean, Curtis, you got 42-year-old.
I'm on the train.
There you go.
I'm on the train.
You got 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers over here.
Yeah,
he was about to lose his mind. Matthew Stafford is a Ram in 2026. Bump is boarding. Are you?
I just like how Matt runs this show like the Navy.
Matt gets Matt, what were you mad at me for earlier? Oh, I didn't throw it a second down.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
When you didn't do your job, I got annoyed.
See?
Sorry.
It's the attitude with which he's right.
I think thanks to a medical miracle and science, Matthew Stafford will be a Ram in 2026. So he's a human.
Remember when we were talking about him not having a spine?
Right. I don't think you picked up on my joke, though.
Yeah. Oh, because of medical miracle?
Because he's a human. He's going to be a Ram in 2026?
Oh, no, I didn't pick up on it.
No,
You're right.
I know.
No, yeah.
I could tell.
That went right over my head.
Right over your head.
I'm short, so.
But, yes, he will be a Los Angeles Ram in 2026. He was balling out of his mind to finish off the season, and I think he's going to stick around until the Rams get their way back to a Super Bowl, or at least give it one last try. So I don't think he's hanging it up just yet.
I am also boarding this train. All aboard! Matthew Stafford is a Ram in 2026, and I think we see a 3-game showdown again between these two teams in 2026. Next up. All right, well, we all decided that Matthew Stafford would be Ram in 2026. Here's your next type train. Geno Smith is a Raider in 2026.
So I'm trying to figure out what they're going to do with that number one.
Yeah.
You get the number one pick, you bring up a Mendoza, Geno's going to be hot. Geno act like he ain't in his mid-30s sometimes. Like he's going to play forever. But you know what? Geno's going to be there. Even if they do get Mendoza, Geno's going to have to deal with it. He'll be a Raider. I don't know who his coach is going to be at, though. I'm on that train, by the way, Matthew. Thank you.
Geno Smith is a Raider in 2026. Curtis.
I just don't see it. I think the Raiders would probably be better off moving on from that contract and just restarting with Fernando Mendoza at pick number 1. There's nothing I think Geno can offer them right now that is going to be is going to be worth it for them. Yeah, he is kind of that veteran mentor, I guess, if he wants to be. I don't know if he wants to be in that role, actually.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem.
No.
He
I
doesn't
don't
seem
think so.
like anybody that wants to give up his job, especially after how long he worked to become a starting quarterback in the NFL. So
No
I just think for a harmonious locker room, the Raiders probably cut ties with Geno after this season.
I think I'm with you. Technically, he's under contract. They have money committed to him, but I think you're right. You're starting new. Now, you need a backup. You need someone there, absolutely, but what environment do you want? Yeah, I don't think I'm boarding this one either. Next up, nothing else we say will make Matt mad today. Bump, are you boarding?
I don't know.
Yeah, Bump, are you boarding?
I don't know. Matt has to figure that out himself.
He's not on the train.
I'm definitely not on that
Okay,
train.
Bump says absolutely we're making
Of course
Matt
we
mad.
are. We got one more segment. We're going to get it, too.
I don't know. I think that Matt's in a good mood. Curtis,
What makes you think that?
nothing else we say will make Matt mad today. Bump said I can't in good faith board that train.
I mean, either. We've got about 23, 22 minutes left of this show. That's
Time for a lot of
I don't
mistakes.
think that's a long, long time.
I'm going to board this train.
Matt, when was the last time you went 20 minutes without getting mad in your day? Just like outside of work.
Yeah.
See, the fact that I have to think about it probably tells you a lot.
Because I don't think Matt's actually mad.
Not
I
really.
You think it's performative?
I think it's performative anger.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, performative anger.
Let me tell you what, I've seen Matt with just red in the face. It's not performative.
I have never met anyone so good at their job and who hates everyone so much. You know?
It's because my job is in constant battle with my coworkers.
Yeah.
It's trying to get
Next
them.
time, train.
Oh.
Is it a constant battle? Not a constant battle.
You only tell me if you're boarding the train to be mean.
No, I just match your energy, Matthew. My mom told me to match people's energy. That's all.
Diet Coke is the best soda.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm not on that train, Matthew, because it's not the best soda. The best soda actually is Orange Crush.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't drink it often, but when I do drink soda.
Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. Curtis, Diet Coke is the best soda.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I'm a Barks root beer guy.
Root beer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, cool.
Says the person who's trying to say the most popular soda
Yeah.
is the best soda.
You think it's popular on accident?
Hershey's bar is the best candy.
No.
Is vanilla ice cream the best ice cream?
Arguably,
It's my favorite.
but Diet Coke
Vanilla
is the
bean.
best soda.
Yeah.
Literally, I was having this conversation the other day. I think it was like me and my sister were ordering food, like extra large pizza, all this stuff. And then I was like, oh, and Diet Cokes. And I think she was like, well, what's the point? And I was like, because Diet Coke's amazing. Matt.
It's not.
No.
Matt. What?
Sprite.
I mean, all sodas are good.
No, they're not.
No.
What's a bad soda?
Dr. Pepper.
I don't like
Dr.
Coca-Cola.
Pepper's good.
No.
Dr.
do it.
Pepper's really good.
Dr. Pepper's my wife's favorite soda.
Got a little bit of a kick to it. It's a little spicy.
A little kick to
A little bit of a
Somebody
kick.
said it's like a barbecue sauce soda.
Yeah, but I love barbecue sauce. That's
Sure.
Bump's favorite sauce.
It is.
Yeah. Diet Coke is the correct answer. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776.
We are going to the Super Bowl.
It's time to eat, boys. Super Bowl, here we come.
Can you believe it?
We're just a really good football team that's tough and connected.
Welcome to the dark side.
Power of 12 is 1 is real.
Whole city going up like it's our time.
All the 12s across the country and all the 12s across the globe.
You know how we do it.
The only place to hear Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Seattle Sports.
You are now entering the death zone. Welcome.
After years of football and the injuries that go with it, my first thought was always go get surgery. Hey, it's Dave Wyman, but after a consultation with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, my eyes were open to an alternative to surgery, and I'm talking about stem cell therapy. Well, and my buddy and co-host Bob Stelton, also in pain, and decided to go see Dr. Wagner.
I had a hip issue from 14 years of jiu-jitsu.
How's the pain now?
Everything I did before, I can do just as well. Hitting the heavy bag, sparring, rolling, all of that is back in play. The This whole thing has been such a pleasant surprise because I really was of the mindset, I'm going to have to go under the knife. I'm going to have to get surgery. And this really saved me from that. I could not be happier with the results. Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Do it. You will not regret it. Hey, get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Luxury has arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and the all-new Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel is now open, featuring a destination spa, the expanded non-smoking space, and breathtaking views of the Cascades. You can catch every game at Hawks Peak, over 66 televisions, plus that 2,000-seat entertainment venue and exciting new dining options. Effortless style, the utmost in relaxation. You can book now at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
The only place to hear Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
Can you believe it?
Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know you can't cook. You're not one of those people who say that they can, but when people come over for dinner, they find out the hard way, you can't. You can't even microwave popcorn, and that's literally just one button. Plus, measuring and patience are huge parts of cooking, and that's just not you. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pricing coverage match limited by state law.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. 866-979-3776. Matt, how about this one for you to start? What I need to know, Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Marvel.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's accurate, but it's still hurtful.
Even though DC has two of the most iconic superheroes ever.
No, and I'm a big Batman fan, and that's about the end of it with DC. I'm Marvel.
Do you think Superman is kind of like a boring superhero?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too. He's very much a superhero that makes sense. He was invented in the 40s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that checks out.
Superman.
Yeah, right? I can do everything great.
Watch me run fast.
I'm a mall cop. Like he's like a really nice person who's like, you're just a very good person who's strong and can fly. Come on. Show me someone
the people
with
of that
emotional
era
baggage.
were so dumb that they were like, oh, he puts on glasses. We have no idea who he is.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, what?
I can kind of tell who somebody is with or without their glasses on.
And then meanwhile, you've got Nepo baby Bruce Wayne who pushes everyone who loves him away. Yeah, I can get behind that. That's a damaged person. You know what I mean?
I feel like, he can really die,
He can.
Like, Superman ain't dying.
Yeah. Matt, what's the best Marvel character?
That's tough. I love them all.
Is Doctor Who Marvel?
Sure isn't. And I think you know that. I think you're doing this just to be annoying. And I think you failed the hype train that I wouldn't get annoyed before the end of the show.
There it is. What I need to know.
Perfect.
What was your answer to it? You just want you take some time. Take some time.
Yeah, I'm going to take some time. I'm going to really think about it.
Yeah. What I need to know. I drove 3 hours to the game yesterday. We got the win, but I got my car window broken out in the lot. Is this personal sacrifice I had to make for Super Bowl 60 to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Do it.
I think you should get a ring.
And that's why I wasn't in them streets, because them streets is crazy.
Yep, they sure are. Hearing the hard evidence. Okay. Hearing the hard evidence that the Super Bowl participants were fixed, it makes me wonder if reality game shows are fixed. What do you think?
Wow.
I think to an extent they are, for entertainment purposes.
I don't think Survivor's fixed.
I don't think so either.
I don't watch it enough to have
There's too many
a strong
variables.
opinion, but there has to be a game show that was fixed.
Oh, yeah, like all time? For sure. Yeah. Well, remember Joe Millionaire?
Oh, yeah.
That was
They had
fixed.
a reboot of that a few years ago, too.
Yeah, I feel like that was notoriously where he liked someone else, but this is like 2001 or something, and they're like, no, we have to make you fall in love with the school teacher, and like they didn't really like each other or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. What I need to know. What's better after sports/exercise? A plastic cup of water or a paper cone of water?
Oh, paper cone. You put it under that like sparklets cooler or whatever.
My mouth's watering.
It's paper cone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's paper cone.
It's paper cone.
And then you gotta huck that thing in the garbage can after you're done.
No, you crush it in your hand when you throw it in the garbage can.
That's golf course stuff. Paper cones, water stations. Yeah, they be hitting.
Paper cones it's like the water's colder
It is.
when you drink it from them.
It feels more pure.
You know what I mean?
Pure.
Like a
But
red
it also
Solo cup
feels like
dirty.
the cone is going to dissolve in like 10 seconds if you don't just
good.
chug it.
Yeah, I think unanimous across the board. Paper cone is the answer. All 6 Seattle sports hosts are in a hotel room playing poker. Who's winning? Who's first out? And who gets the angriest?
Who's winning? I don't know how good everyone else is at poker. I feel like Salk will probably be good in poker.
Yeah.
He goes to Snoqualmie. I play, but I'm not like a real player.
I think Brock and I are getting knocked out.
Yeah, you two are definitely.
Brock, I don't think could keep a secret as to like what his cards are. I think he'd be making too many
laughing.
faces.
He'd be giggling.
Yeah.
Who's getting the angriest? That's Bob Sheldon.
Bob for sure.
Yeah,
Bob. Not a doubt in my mind.
A fist is going through that table.
Bob seems like someone, and we love Bob. Bob reminds me a lot of my friend Alessa, where it's like, these are the rules of the game. You know? Like that really competitive. These are the rules.
These are the rules.
These are the rules of the game.
No.
What are you talking about? We found this board
Can't do
game
that.
here in this Airbnb. These are the rules of the game.
Can't do that.
Yeah. What I need to know. If Tom Brady had to delay his interview tomorrow and Bumpin' Stacy had to do it instead, how nervous would you be interviewing him?
I'm not nervous at all.
What would you ask him?
Talking about the game. I was talking about quarterbacks to start, then some schematical stuff.
Yeah.
Talk football.
I'd ask him what laser treatments he does. And I'd ask him if the Alex Earl stuff is real. So are you really talking to Alex Earl?
Like, what's up with the Raiders, though, man?
You've been linked to Sydney Sweeney. Is that real?
He's been linked to her, too?
He's been linked to everyone. He was linked to Kim Kardashian for a minute, which I didn't buy, but they, know each other.
If
They're
you're
friends.
Tom Brady, why not?
Listen.
Why not?
I'm texting
everybody.
He might be dating Alex Earl.
I'm texting everybody.
Alex Earl was spotted at an event sitting next to Jordan Hudson, Bill Belichick's girlfriend, obviously. Wait, fiance? Are they engaged?
I think just girlfriend.
Just girlfriend.
Don't do it, Bill. Don't do it, Bill.
What I need to know. Pick one to eliminate forever. This is for me. Diet Coke or Caesar salad? That's tough. That's tough. Caesar salad.
What?
Yeah. I love
Come
Diet
on.
Coke.
It's not that
it's
serious.
It's an addiction. It's really an addiction.
You know what I love? Diet Coke. Like, why you get diet? There's still, other bad stuff in there for you.
It tastes good. Why do people smoke cigarettes?
Don't taste good.
It's not good for you.
Don't taste good.
But people just do it. Sometimes you can't explain what coffee doesn't taste good in theory. No, it does. What I need to know. I have, what's this one? I have a friend who keeps saying Richard Sherman's a traitor. Can you explain to him the business side of football?
Is it because Richard Sherman wears a 49ers hat on his podcast every now and then?
Yeah, it's because he, at any point, so they're saying, they're not asking if he is, they're saying, can you please explain to my friend how the business of football works and why Richard Sherman is not a traitor?
No, I'm not explaining it to him. No.
He should tweet at Richard Sherman and see if Richard Sherman responds.
The heck? College?
Someone said anything diet is so bad for you, it's unreal. Well, yeah. Everyone has their vices, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Guess what? We're all gonna die.
Guess what? I don't drink.
I already died.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right. You died late last week.
There's nothing. Oh, yeah. I've been really grateful for you this week so far. But
what was it like seeing the light, Bo?
Yeah.
It was fun, actually.
Yeah.
It was fun.
What was it like seeing a fake, RIP photo with your face on it? Were you like, wow, this is what it would be like?
Yeah. I tried to step out of my consciousness and try to view it the way it needed to be viewed.
What I need to know, someone said, Bump, is it worth the 4-hour round trip drive to Southern Washington to try In-N-Out? How does it compare to Dick's Drive-In?
No, it's not worth it. Just wait till you go on vacation to Arizona or Cali or something like that. It ain't worth it.
That line is going to be the same length as your drive there.
Crazy.
It's good. Don't get me wrong, but it ain't worth it.
No, I don't. No. Not for a 4-hour drive?
Nah.
Absolutely not. All right, Wyman and Bob coming up next.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
It's awesome to see. I can tell you, just being down there, every one of them singing the same tune about the team. And I love these guys. I'm so happy to be here with these guys.
They've built a culture that they care about each other. And so, that obviously sounds very corny, but it works. Maybe people will stop texting into our show, Bob, saying it doesn't matter if he's a nice guy or not. Yes, it does, because it's the ultimate team game.
Only on Seattle Sports.
The Boat Show, the Boat Show, the Big Seattle Boat Show.
The Big Seattle Boat Show starts this Friday. It's the best time to buy with big selection, big discounts, and big fun for everyone. It's a big deal. Presented by Sundance Yachts and Port of Seattle. Make it a date Friday evenings with Boat Show After Dark, featuring unforgettable ambiance, music, food, beer, and wine. Details and discount tickets at seattleboatshow.com.
Jewelry Graham. Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Here to remind you that Valentine's Day is Saturday, February the 14th. It's the most romantic day of the year to give and get fine jewelry. We have expertly crafted gifts for every type of sweetheart, any style, any budget. Get creative and design a custom necklace with meaningful charms, including 14-karat gold letters, engravable hearts, and birthstones. For the one, we'll help you propose with a dream engagement ring. Come see our wide selection of hand-picked natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes, in stock and ready to compare side by side. At Shane Company, love is always in the air with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty, everyday competitive prices, and no-pressure shopping experience. Come see us in store or at shaneco.com. because a friend wants you to win Valentine's Day. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Save $600 on windows and $1,500 on doors at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Enjoy easy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest financing for 12 months, plus a lifetime installation warranty. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, ultra-low sugar brain and body fuel. Our IQ Bar plant protein bars help you refuel smarter. Our IQ Mix Zero Sugar Hydration Mixes help you hydrate harder. And our IQ Joe Instant Mushroom Coffees help you caffeinate larger. All 3 product lines boost physical performance, but they also boost mental performance via nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane. Right now you can try our epic IQ Bar Ultimate Sampler Pack with 9 protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 coffee sticks. Win your day with clean ingredients, amazing taste, and superior brain and body nutrition. Try IQ Bar today.
Get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text IQ Bar to 64,000. Text IQ Bar to 64,000 to get this exclusive radio offer. That's IQ Bar to 64,000.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/game for 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. They have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.